If you have health insurance, you might be able to see a personal dietitian for $0 out of pocket. Nourish connects you with a dietitian that fits your needs, covered by your insurance. Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans, and 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. Meet with your dietitian online and message them anytime through the Nourish app. With hundreds of 5-star reviews from real patients, you know you're in good hands. Find your dietitian at usenourish.com. That's usenourish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, "Hey, can you put the game on?" At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right. When it comes to theft, there's some things you fully expect to hear about. Money, drugs, guns, vehicles, Amazon packages, your identity. Now, it sucks, and it leaves you feeling violated, but it's not unexpected. However, after a quick perusal of the news, we've come to the conclusion that if it can be stolen, whatever it is, it will be. Yesterday, we told you about Julio and Juan. Those are the two donkeys from Bellevue that were snatched away from their trailer. And listen, I love me some donkey, R.I.P. Pokey. But who actually steals them? We also share the story of a thief in Georgia. Guy broke into a local mall. Now, he could have stolen jewelry, money, clothing, Pokemon collectibles, pretty much anything. But he stole cinnamon rolls. Delicious, but still a felony. And it only gets weirder. A man in Florida, he stole a woman's purse. He probably just wanted her wallet, but he also got a 1-month-old kitten. And donkeys and kittens, not the only animals getting stolen. A man in New Jersey stole a $7,000 African gray parrot. Now, personally, I'd rather steal the $7,000. This guy wanted the bird. Whatever. There's nothing too big or too small to be stolen. Like a man in New York, he stole another man's lunchbox, punched him in the face, took the lunchbox, hopped on a bus. Meanwhile, the guy in Indiana, he went big. He stole 5 houses. Yes, you heard me correctly. He stole 5 houses. We'll share all of these stories coming up. But first, we want to hear your answer to today's question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. Today, we want to know what was stolen from you. Or, if you want to admit it, what did you steal?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK and send those emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the Jones, away we go. Welcome to season 20 and episode number 4,255. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show will join us. We're going to sit and spin 10 songs that do not have the title and the lyrics on the way at 4:30.
Yeah.
So, these are not instrumentals. You're not hearing Jessica from the Allman Brothers Band. Wow. Or,
yeah, I said Fifth of Beethoven. Make it a little more universal. But
Jessica.
you do you, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jessica. from the Allman Brothers Band?
I might
Long
recognize
song?
it. I don't know.
You know Jessica from the Allman Brothers Band.
I'm sure I do, but I do not know it by name. Maybe because they don't say it.
You know Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin?
I know Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin. Plays the drums with the hands, man.
Give us a little Jessica, Miles. How's it go?
Does it sound better than that?
This is,
I do. I do
this
know
is my
the song.
Dwayne Allman. Give me a break.
Yeah, I know the song. I did not know it was called Jessica.
See?
You're right. I do know the song. I did not know. And it's horrible of his rendition.
He hated
as
her.
it was.
You don't know that. He hated her.
Oh, you know what, Miles? Good call. I love this song.
Did you know it's called Jessica?
No, this is just like, hey, man, I'm going to a festival. I'm out on the road.
Yeah. Actually, he wrote a song about a girl he broke up with. No, I mean, you don't know. The song's called Jessica. She could have been a complete and total...
Ooh.
This sounds like the beginning of the movie. We're just walking down the pier, man. We're just about to go to the shop.
So, is Jessica flattered that you wrote a song for her, but you don't say
anything about her?
Because she's like, well,
You don't think about her anymore.
Not a word.
This is for you, and I don't care about you.
I have nothing to say about you, but here's a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been his 89-year-old next-door neighbor. You don't even know.
The woman he killed and buried in the
The
floorboards.
hottest
We
woman he's
don't
ever
know.
been on a date with.
Could have been a woman that I'm stuck on this festival thing that like got him high at a festival.
She could have had a neck beard.
He woke up in a hotel room. His watch was gone.
Right.
You have no idea.
Could be the name of his cat.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
It's about my cat, man.
Yeah, like his cat was like, this is a good tune.
All right, here's one, and I can think of one song that would fall in this criteria. How many songs can you think of where the title of the song is the only lyric they say?
Tequila.
That's the only one. I cannot think of another
You
one.
shook me all night long. It's repeated quite a bit.
But he says other things.
He does.
Like
He
tequila, if you know the word, if you know the name of the song, you know the words.
Well, there's Long View from Green Day. There's one. That's they don't say Long View within the song.
True,
Not
true.
part
My
of the
guy
lyrics.
Bobby Shmurda has a song where he says one phrase a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, you should play. You know Nazareth, right? Are you familiar with Nazareth?
Oh, yes.
You know Hair of the Dog, right?
I've heard of it, yes.
What is the hook in Hair of the Dog? Because I want you to
Now
sing.
you're messing with a silent. They never say hair of the dog.
No, they don't. Not once.
As a kid, I was very confused. I'm like, why do they keep saying that? Clearly, the song is called "Son of a Bitch."
Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. They never say that. The entire
He
time.
says a lot of things in that song.
Right.
I wouldn't-
Smells like Teen Spirit. You never hear them go, smells like Teen Spirit when they're singing the song.
I'm kind of glad.
I think Led Zeppelin is the king of this mountain.
Oh, yeah.
What
They
else
have,
you got?
Jamaica or Jamaica?
Jamaica.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy.
Black Dog. Hey, Mama said the way you move. Make you sweat. Gonna make your immigrant
Misty Mountain
song.
Hop.
Right?
Immigrant song. I mean, they got a ton of them.
How do you think they work
But
this out?
none of these are on the list, right? Any of the songs we mentioned so far, Mike?
So what?
Are any of these songs we mentioned so far on this list?
I mean, they could be. It's a
Okay,
possibility.
all right, okay. So we're going to play a little guessing game and see if we can't figure out the title of the song based on the song
It's
itself.
kind of like them running, like a quarterback running an offense. Just yelling a bunch of nonsense.
Right.
And then there's only like 2 real calls in there, but he's yelled 40 things.
Pink Floyd, another king of that mountain. Brain Damage, Eclipse. Oh, I mean, they got
Yeah. Well, I'd expect that from Pink Floyd, though.
at time, maybe even, if I'm not mistaken. You hear the
No,
clock.
I mean, they say the word time.
Do they?
Not necessarily like,
But it's not the
time.
chorus,
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they do say time, though.
All right, okay.
Time.
They don't do that anymore. You know what I mean? They don't do this
Well,
anymore.
now I'm really thinking about it. Like one of Biggie's most famous songs is called "Juicy," but people always think it's like, well, but he never says that in the song.
Right. Yeah. And you're right. It's a great song.
But you remember those songs more, for whatever reason.
I
Because
want a local band out there, whatever next EP you put out, just do us a favor. Write a great song, but do not title any of it around any words that you use. That way, every time you introduce the song when you're playing live, people are waiting for that chorus, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, like Wyatt. Wyatt, if you can hear my voice, make a just heavy song called Ted.
or write the lyrics for Jessica.
But make it an instrumental so that no one knows how you feel
Would it
about
be easier to do that, or would it be harder to write the lyrics for Jessica? So, in other words, you
Fired up again.
You
Fired up
You
again.
keep the music the same, okay?
Right, and now you gotta
this-
write a
you
song
would say
around
this is kind of a rambling tune here. It's a festival type sounding tune.
The problem is the only Jessica I can think of is my buddy's wife.
Well, then you have to write a song about it.
About like canning fruit and
What
stuff.
does she do well?
Canning fruit,
She
apparently.
sells houses. She makes.
does.
She cans. She's a good, the kind of farmer, I guess.
I don't know, scared up mouse.
Tied a little goats, walk on the beach, deals with sales BS.
I need to write a song about a nice house for sale in a cul-de-sac in a wonderful suburban community.
I'm going to make it my mission now to write lyrics for this song.
But when do you come in?
Blackberry cobbler.
Do you come in on
salsas?
Do you come in on Dwayne's guitar? See, wait for
I
the
don't
build up.
know. I feel like you got to let this build up, right?
What's her name again, Jessica?
When you want to get away for the weekend, join us in beautiful Leavenworth, Washington.
See, that's not bad, but man, you got to sing it. You can definitely do that.
I just feel like Jason's going to have this as a bed music for one of his commercials.
He has to write. You have to write the lyrics to a song that's already an instrumental.
But it has to incorporate the name, right?
Sure, like
So-
Moby Dick. All right. Now you're writing a song about a whale over top of John Bonham's instrumental,
right.
but it's got to be about Moby Dick. You could bring up what, Jonah? Who else is involved?
Jonah's not in Moby Dick.
Oh, who is a Moby Dick? Captain Ahab.
Captain Ahab. There you
Captain
go.
Ahab.
What was
Ishmael.
Jonah's deal with the whale? Because it's Jonah and the whale.
Jonah and the
Jonah was
right.
biblical. He was
Right.
he was running away from God, and then he got swallowed by the big fish.
And Pinocchio deals with
Found
whales
God.
and Moby Dick. That's as much if there's Free Willy.
There's a challenge to anybody out there. Write the lyrics to Moby Dick or Jessica. You got to use the same music.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be in key, in the right tempo, and come in at the right times. Fire on high, ELO, whatever you want to
That's a
do.
great tune, man.
I don't care, man. If you can pull it off, do it. That would be the hardest challenge ever.
You know I'm going to obsess over this now. This is what's going to happen. You've now poisoned my brain. So inevitably, I'm going to give it a shot. Not a lot of things rhyme with Jessica.
Yeah. Well, the instrumentals aren't really like, maybe the Gorillas are the closest right now to being able to pull off a instrumental song that people, but they still grunt and do everything else.
They make noise, but they don't
Yeah.
necessarily sing.
Well, it's like Disturbed. I mean, they make noise.
Ooh, ah.
Yeah. All right. On to the question. Oh, by the way, listen on the Odyssey app this afternoon, 5K a day. This is the last week. So be sure to download the Odyssey app. If you don't have it, create an account. Listen for 1 hour, your chance at 5K a day. We need to keep reminding you of that as the time is ticking down on that national contest. Okay, on to the question about stealing stuff. A lot of times when you read the news, you think to yourself, man, oh man, that's not good. This one, along with the picture that Como provided, not good.
That makes it worse.
Also sad. Investigators in Bellevue hope tips from the public will help lead them to the location of 2 donkeys that were stolen from a stable over the weekend. The donkeys, Julio and Juan. Did you see a picture of Julio and Juan yet, Ted?
I did. You were showing us yesterday.
Are they miniature donkeys? Are
They gotta
these young
be.
donkeys?
Or they're dwarfs. I don't know. I actually saw a video yesterday, and I can't get a sense of their age, but you're right. As far as donkeys go, there's some tiny donkeys.
Yeah. Julio and Juan, I'm assuming that they're brothers.
They could be just miniature donkeys. That's what they're called. Or also called Mediterranean or Sicilian burros.
All right. What was your donkey? What was your...
That was Pokey.
I know, but what
That's
breed?
a full girl.
Oh, just a
bro,
big-ass
I don't know.
donkey?
It was just a big ass donkey.
It's not bro, it's burro.
Yeah, bro. He was an awesome donkey. I know that sounds...
Was
I
he
can't
red?
explain it. No, he was just kind of brown, man. He looked like a standard freaking donkey. But I rolled up to this thing, immediately put his head on my shoulder. We were eye to eye, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on in Pokey's world, man, but me and Pokey, like, we hit it the F off.
So basically what happened is the owner...
I'm an ass man now.
Yeah, Allison Smith.
Now.
She had loaded up her trailer in Bridal Trails Sunday afternoon and was away briefly. I was in disbelief. I'm still in disbelief. I'm in shock, she told Como. Whoever did this was very calculated. They had made a plan for a period of time. They obviously knew the property. They knew the trailer. They knew the donkeys. This was not random. In other words, someone did not go steal a truck with a trailer on the back and not know what was inside. They knew that Juan and Julio were inside the trailer.
So
when
she's
they sold
thinking
this.
they specifically wanted
what
Juan and Julio.
That's what she believes. They had to know the property. They had to know the trailer. They knew the donkeys. This was not some random thing. Now, Bellevue police, they checked the traffic camera recordings from the area, and they say the stolen trailer was last seen headed toward Redmond on 140th Avenue Northeast. Now, Smith does not recognize the truck that was captured in the video, but she believes whoever took the donkeys must have visited the stable before. There's no way someone just randomly came up here, whoever did this, it had it out for the donkeys, wanted them, or they had it out for me. Smith said the donkeys are companion animals for her horse, Ozzy. I've just been spending every waking moment with him to make sure he's okay. Police asked anyone from information to please call the non-emergency dispatch number. But they were companion animals for the horse.
Right.
You got to think the horse is going, hey, man, where's Julio and Juan?
Well, she said, I saw a clip of it last night on the news. This was on Cairo because L. Thomas is hot. But she brought up the story. And so when they did the audio, the woman talking about it, she goes, look, man, it's not just that Juan and Julio have been taken. But, right, they are companion animals for Ozzy. I kept thinking Ozzy Osbourne. But that the horse itself was actually very upset, very agitated.
Yes.
Noticeably agitated.
Yes. Hopefully Allison's not listening, as the last report is they were on a plane headed toward Guantanamo Bay. Now we have this story. 100,000 eggs were stolen Saturday from an organic supplier in Franklin County in Pennsylvania amid skyrocketing prices stemming from the avian flu outbreak. Now, the eggs were swiped from the back of a distribution trailer around 8:40 at Pete and Jerry's Organics warehouse. The eggs are worth now $40,000. They weren't worth that before that, but 100,000 eggs were stolen from the supplier in Pennsylvania. And one more. We head to New York. Police on Tuesday released a photo of a suspect wanted for punching a man in the face, then stealing his lunchbox on Staten Island last month.
Oh, no.
It happened at about 8 o'clock in the morning in front of the Victory Building in Brighton Heights. According to officials, the suspect just approached a 26-year-old man, punched him in the face, and then stole his lunchbox. And then he got on an MTA bus. The victim sustained bruising to the face but refused medical attention at the scene. Now that is insult to injury.
I feel like someone who steals your lunchbox, the bus is their getaway vehicle. By the way, one of our texters is letting us know regarding Juan and Julio.
Yes.
They're saying that's not exactly what happened. The person who owns the donkeys was not on the property. I did see that last night on the news.
All right.
She was skiing. The person who owns the property saw the man or the people loading the donkeys into the trailer of a truck.
Of a truck that was not hers.
So she called the owner of the donkeys, wondering if she was moving the donkeys, and the owner of the donkeys said, man, first of all, no, I'm not. I'm skiing, and asked them to then call the police. So she was not physically present when the donkeys were stolen.
Okay.
And I do remember that from the news last night.
That makes sense that she could not identify the truck. She could identify the trailer then in whatever pictures they
Which
had.
might be more why she thinks it's an inside job, because they know that she's not there, right? Her vehicle's not there. She's probably not there. This is our chance to ass-nap Juan and Julio.
Yeah, that's one of the tips that Mike brought up on the Facebook video before we go on the air is never post pictures or tell people where you are going or being on vacation.
Yeah.
So as soon as you do that, not that she did that, that's just one of the warnings as far as
that's why.
As far as property theft is concerned.
We're on vacation for 2 weeks.
Here I am on the beach. You know what I mean?
Look at the NFL guys.
Can't wait to spend the next 6 days here.
But there's nothing they can do,
They're simply
man.
going to work, but they play on national TV on Monday Night Football, and people were evil enough to go, let's go rob their house. They're on Monday Night Football.
And most of the time,
Or hockey.
Most of those guys, it's not a home game either.
Yeah.
Right? So, they're playing 2,000 miles away. I know for a fact that you are not
Those
home.
are guys that are organized doing that.
You have to be organized.
That isn't some Joe Schmo thinking to himself, well, I know where he is tonight. I'm going to try to break in. It's very calculated. They've got to.
And I would think their security systems are probably better than your average ring cam. So whoever's behind that, it's very smart. But
could you imagine having
Patrick Mahomes also and Travis Kelce, first of all, I have a hard time seeing me doing a B&E on anybody's home.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I can see you doing that.
I'd rather sneak into their house when they're having a party.
And just kind of blend into the crowd.
You got a different technique.
Well, I wouldn't steal anything. I just there's no way they're going to invite me, especially if Taylor Swift's there. We're going to get Ted involved.
Right.
But I try to maybe sneak into that. But I wouldn't break into their home to steal stuff. I'd just be then finally Travis would be I don't know you. And I'd be you don't. It's a fun party. Can I stay?
What do you think they would prefer? That you break you steal their jewelry. Most of them don't have cash in, right? You steal the jewelry, tennis shoes, right? All that kind of crap. And they go, they've been violated, they're pissed, they find you. Or they're having a party, and it is Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, all their buddies, and they're like, who the F are you? For some reason, that would almost bug me more. Nobody here invited. You're not even a mutual friend of someone here. You literally broke into my house to party with me. You've been drinking my beer.
Yeah.
You've been kicking up my buddies out back.
Right.
I think I'd be offended. Look, it's not that I want you to rob me, but somehow that seems less personal.
See, here's what I would do. I would get a job at the catering company, all right? And I would come in as an employee of the catering company at the home. And then I would case the place, and I would figure out what was going on. But then at some point in time during the night, I would get a tray of food, right? And I would start walking around, and I would be okay, I could go upstairs at this point, right?
I don't know if you go upstairs with tray food.
If I saw a waiter going into my bedroom, I'd be like, yo.
They just told me to bring this up to the bedroom for the occupants of the room. And I'm bringing
Yes, that's going to happen.
What door? Where are they? Then I walk around with my tray of food, and I'd open up the door and I'd go into one of those bedrooms and come back out and see what I could steal.
My thought is,
You're getting caught.
Hey man, do you have a bathroom I can use? I'm sorry. And this is just a guess. The house is big enough that I get to wander out of view. The worst thing that would happen is they just pull goods right there. That would suck because I can't case the place. Maybe I watch too many TV shows, but it seems like when it's rich people and you say, can I use a bathroom, you end up like 400 feet away down 7 different halls. And you have time to dig through everything.
Surely.
I'm still just obsessed with, like, Travis Kelce just cornering me. You've been smoking blunts by my pool? Yeah. Like, there's a smoking area. I'll be like, Travis, I'm not even invited. I don't know, dude.
You didn't tell me where it was.
I'm Patrick's friend, man. He brought me.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'm here with Patrick.
Hey, Patrick, I've never seen it before in my life.
Do you think anybody in the sound of our voice knows where Julio and Juan are?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I bet Juan knows where Juan is.
Yeah. Man, of all the people, yeah.
Ozzy misses his brothers. I don't know what the deal
Yeah,
is.
return the donkeys, man.
Just do some good.
Jesus.
Don't mess with donkeys, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah. We did this time, whatever. The world's going nuts. Let's not steal donkeys.
Yeah. And if you Google donkeys, Julio and Juan in Seattle, the picture will come up. They're white.
Who else's picture would come up?
Well, when you see donkeys,
what else would possibly come up?
They are distinct looking.
Yeah.
They're short, they're white, they're squatty, and they're cute as hell.
Somebody brought Peter Dinklage back. Like, that is not them.
Our question, what was stolen from you? Or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because DSW has the exact right shoes for whatever you're into right now. You know, like the sneakers that make office hours feel like happy hour. The boots that turn grocery aisles into runways. And all the styles that show off the many sides of you, from daydreamer to multitasker and everything in between. Because you do it all in really great shoes. Find a shoe for every you at your DSW store or DSW.com.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jesse. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. Did you guys ever meet somebody that had the same name as you? Like first and last name?
I've not met them personally, but I've heard of a few.
I have.
I could see
All
that.
right. So a guy hit me up on Facebook. He added me just randomly because he had the same first and last name as me, right? So my last name is Lane. It's like a street. You know what I mean?
Sure.
All right. So I'm driving during COVID from Seattle down to California, and this guy just randomly became a Facebook friend over years. You know, we like each other's posts, and it looks like we like our own. It's kind of funny. So I look it up, and in Oregon, there actually is a Jesse Lane, like the street Jesse LN.
All right.
So I hit him up, and on my way down from Seattle to California, I had brought a multi-tool with a metal blade, and I took that thing down. And
okay. You just couldn't take a picture?
I could have taken a picture, but I think that the novelty of it all would have been lost in just sending a random stranger a picture, right?
Okay.
All right, so I text him, and I say, hey, man, send me 7-Eleven close to your house. And he just responds like, this is the most random thing a stranger on the internet has ever sent me. But he sends me an address. And so on my way down to L.A., I meet up with him in Northern California and drop off a Jesse Lane sign for a fellow Jesse Lane.
Was he happy to have it, or was he like, dude, I don't want this?
Man, he changed it as his Facebook background picture for the last 3 years.
Oh, so he still uses that as his Facebook picture?
As the background one, yeah.
That's great, man. How long did it take you to get that sign down?
You know, I had the metal blade, and it was pretty dull. It maybe took me about 10 minutes, and then an old man in a beat-up truck comes driving down this one-lane road, and he gets out of the car with this look on his face like he's about to shoot me. And he just goes, man, what are you doing? And I say, I'm Jesse Lane. And he goes, I am too. How do you think I got the sign?
So you met another Jesse Lane.
Yeah, that makes 3 on that trip.
Damn. Okay. Damn. Small world.
That is kind of... The only time I had anything with someone who shared my name, and I did not know this person, and I've told this before, but Krista, the sister, a friend of mine, lived in the Pacific Northwest for a little while. She works for the Department of Defense. I'm not sure what she did, but anyway, crashed with me and my wife, and then we're driving her back to JBLM.
All right.
Or whatever. And we pull in, and they have their security checkpoint. No big deal. And we show them our IDs, and immediately they're like, pull the car over to the side. And they're serious, man. They're like, pull the car over to the side. The first words out of my wife's mouth, what did you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. Whatever this is, I know it's a mistake. Oh, so we all know it's me. Whatever got flagged, I'm sure it's me, but I've not done anything that the Department of frickin' Defense gives a crap about. So you got to wait there for like 10 minutes. We don't know what's going on, but they're in their little booth to the side, but they sent 3 dudes out with M16s, stood about 10, 15 feet away from the car, but they're not drawn at us, but they're clearly out. They're at the ready, and they're just staring into the car. So I'm just like, look, man, we just have to wait it out. And Chris, I can't explain it. She's so aloof. I have no idea how she works at the DOD. Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm like, me too, but it's
right now it seems kind of tense.
But it's not about what I know. I need them to know that whatever's going on is about nothing. So dude finally walks over to the car, specifically wants to talk to me because I'm the only guy in the car, and the name is Steven, right? So, and I'm sitting in the back seat. So I roll down the window. You're Stephen Hill. I'm like, yeah, man, keep in mind, they're holding my ID. So he hands it back to me, but I guess they're kind of piecing together that, I don't know, I look too stupid. I was super hungover, that should be noted. I'd also done a lot of drugs the night before this happened, and I'm pretty sure the bags under my eyes made it clear that whoever they're looking for, this cannot possibly be the guy. I'm not competent enough to pull off whatever's like a federal military thing. And so he says, have you ever been to Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany? I'm like, bro, no, I have never in my life been to Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. And they kind of chuckled. They hand my ID back, and they said, look, someone with your name did something at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. I'm like, what did this guy do that he's flagged like this? I said, we cannot tell you that. But they said, we're not even kidding. Like, don't even go to that base. Even though you're not the guy, if you show this ID at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany, like, bad things are going to happen to you, essentially. I said, look, I don't know what the circumstance would be that I end up there. I don't plan on going there, but now I will make it a mental note not to go there. So it was all cleared up. We dropped off Kristen. We drove away. Still have no idea what happened, but it was a little tense. One thing about this story, I'll tell you guys all.
Did you go to Texas Roadhouse?
No.
Once you got in?
I didn't. No.
See, I'd be like, look, man, we're going to Texas Roadhouse.
Nah, I didn't even know it was there. We just dropped our ass off and left. But there may have been some contraband on me while I was waiting for them to check my ID. And I don't know if they're going to search me or what was going to happen. So, again, I'm sitting in the back seat and very quietly, like, emptied my pockets and kicked some stuff under the driver's seat in case they pulled me out of the car. They did not. It was all cleared up. But that's when I was sweating, man. But once I realized, they're not going to pull you out of the car. You're good. And I'm not that guy, but, yeah, seriously, I had
I got
some
one
evidence of that.
He's a lieutenant colonel, so I doubt it was him either.
I would doubt it, but who knows, man?
Right.
They did not tell me what this guy did, but, like, it was serious, and apparently whatever he did, it warranted perhaps being shot. Because that was the sense I got from the three cats that were staying. Like, they're just waiting for the word. I'm like, I know this is a mistake, man, but the faster you clear this up, the more comfortable I will be.
So mine is not serious, but my cousins, one set of cousins, they have another cousin who's no blood relation to me, who is named Ted Smith.
Okay.
We have the same exact name. The problem is, at one of these cousins' weddings years ago, we got in a dance-off. But now it's become like a thing. If one of them gets married, like we brought up Soul Train yesterday.
Yeah.
Anybody that ever watched Soul Train knew at a certain part, you have the Soul Train line.
Right.
Right? When these people all get together, you get about, I'd say, halfway through the reception, and then just a giant circle forms, and I got a battle dance. Frickin' Ted Smith.
You got to do this every time?
Every time.
And how old is he? You guys roughly the same age?
We do not. Everybody's married, so I think our battles are done, but we're about the same age. But the last one was on Cape Cod, and he pulled out this Irish jig, and he jigged all over me. He beat me.
He did.
Yeah.
Have you beaten him in one of your dance-offs?
I think one of the original ones I got him, and this is what started the battle. But look, Ted and I get along great. We don't even really care. As I was like, do we have to do this again? And we're talking about it, having a beer, and he goes, I don't think so. And then you just hear the DJ go, I need the Ted Smith.
Oh, no.
And we look over, and everybody, there's 150 people, is in a circle like, get up, Ted. God damn it.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
You've never seen this many white people excited for dancing.
Between two Ted Smiths.
Between two Ted Smiths.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, a little backstory. Me and my dad used to go up to Seattle and hang out at the hotels and wait for football teams that were playing the Seahawks. And we've collected over 7,000 autograph cards, in person, blah, blah. So, years ago when I was, 13 or so, I had a couple buddies that I used to kind of pick on. I wrestled, and I used to practice my wrestling on them. So we were at a friend's house, and they had to run to my house to grab something out of my house. And on the way out, I had a double deadbolt key. And so I had a key on the inside. He decided he was going to take the key on the inside and come back the next day and rob us, to get even. So I don't remember if my dad got me out of school early or if I showed up at home. But he asked me, hey, did you take autograph books to school? I said, no. And he goes, well, somebody stole our stuff. And so we go look and whatever, and they stole a couple autograph books, my PlayStation, my CDs. And well, one of those books was full of nothing but Hall of Famers. That was the big one that my dad was so upset about.
Of course.
So my dad asked the neighbor if he sees anybody, if they saw anybody come into our house, and they go, no, but there was a chrome bicycle outside. And I knew exactly who it was. There was only one kid in the neighborhood that had a chrome bike, and it was a chrome elf. And so I said, I know who it was. Shout out to Corey. He's listening right now.
Is that your buddy who stole your stuff?
Yeah, we're homies now. We were friends, and I got over it. But he actually got me the job that I have right now. But yeah, I told him that I was going to call in and listen, so he's listening.
What about your dad? It's cool that you guys are like, yeah, whatever. But how did your father feel when he has to return, this important card book back to him?
Well, needless to say, Corey avoided him for quite a while.
Yeah, you do that. You don't go over to your house anymore.
No, he did not come to my house for a long time.
Well,
so I knew where he lived, and so we went to his house, and sure enough, his bike was there in the front yard. And so we knock on the door, and they were inside, and seeing it was us, they bolted out the back door. And I, figured it was them, so I went around the backside, and in their garbage can was all my CD cases. They happened to be empty, so they stole empty CD cases. And so there was the first sign of evidence that, yeah, it was them. I jumped on their roof to look through the sunroof. I mean, like I said, we were friends. I hung out at their house all the time. And, cops were called, and that's how he ended up getting his first felony.
Wow. Oh, how many has he had since then?
A few. He's moved on to bigger and better things after that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Felonious.
My in-laws, they wanted. They were later in life, obviously too old biologically to have kids, but the woman that he married still wanted to be a mother.
This is Juan,
and raise children if she could. So he agreed that if they could adopt a child they found in foster care, that he's on board. And so they adopted a kid who was probably 12 years old at the time.
All right,
somewhere in there, and his name was Juan. So of course we know him as Juan Montgomery. But at first I wasn't catching on to this, but when they would come down and visit, Juan would rob me blind. I mean,
what was he stealing?
Well, the things that were recovered included, do you remember the early Apple, was it what was the one that just played music and had kind of a dial on it that would tick, 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 tick,
like an iPod?
Yeah, when you scrolled through, tick, 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 tick. So I got that one back a year and a half later. When Ellen found that in a drawer in his room and asked him where he got it, and I guess he copped to it.
Okay, to be fair, at 12, I could see targeting something like that.
All right. Other things I'm not quite sure about. I know that my wife at the time had jewelry that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
But like anything else, unless it's just out in the open, you don't know what someone has stolen. And then until you're looking for it and you realize it wasn't there.
Right.
So I had this little box.
Now, wait, did you suspect Juan at any point, or was it until they brought the iPod? You go, okay, that might explain this, that, and the other thing.
So there were.
You might also think you left it somewhere.
Of course. You don't assume you're being robbed when it's just little things. You know?
And then she also found a bunch of old silver dollars that my grandfather had left me from like the 1800s and the early 1900s and all of his coin collection. But most of those items were missing. So either he pawned a lot of that stuff.
Oh, man.
Or he could not, because my grandfather, he was a coin collector, so he would always give me like the commemorative crap that the post office would put out.
Sure.
And, it was like honestly, like a $50 or $100 $1 coin.
Yeah.
One of those kind of deals. It's in the little plastic case. Kind of like when you're buying keef or hash, one of those little screw job things. So, and if I knew the overall haul, it would probably be tremendous. But it got to the point where Juan had to go back into foster care because he got into trouble doing other things. I think he was...
What else was he doing?
Selling probably
drugs?
The weed he stole from me at school.
Oh, you think he stole your weed to then sell at school?
I know he did.
Damn, man. Damn, Juan.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, damn. Well, at the time, you got to remember, man, I had a whole little room in the basement that was just completely devoted to my little growing facility.
Yeah.
And all the weed that I had in there and everything else. So I had a room specifically for weed.
Yeah.
That I would go, and apparently Juan found that room. And
yeah, I bet he did.
This is a jackpot. What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Carrie. Welcome to the men's room.
That must be Terry. That must be me.
Hola.
Yes, indeed.
Terry.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
I will admit to it because the statute of limitations is over by now.
Are you sure?
Pardon?
Are you sure? Because I said that once and found out from law enforcement, they're like, it's not.
I lived in Alaska. They got their own rules up there.
All right.
And now my dog wants to go crazy. Sorry. No, I had a neighbor that was a known thief, and we knew he was going to spend a couple days in jail. And over months of time, stuff was disappearing out of my home.
What kind of stuff?
I agreed to watch... the commemorative quarter books, food.
Oh.
And I agreed to watch his house for him for 3 days while he did his 3 days of jail time for stealing food and a fishing pole from another house. And when I went into his home, I had my DVDs, my VHSs with my last name on them in his home.
Also, you found your stuff when you went in there to take care of his place.
Yeah. my tire chains with my name on the box from Washington when I moved up there.
So wait a minute. This guy stole from you, but asked you to watch his house.
Were you digging through his
stuff?
house looking for it, or was it out in the open?
Oh, it was out in the open, sweetheart. I looked at my ex-husband. I said, "You want to back the truck up?" And he goes, "Are you crazy?" I said, "I live in Alaska. Back up the truck."
Are you crazy? I live in Alaska. Do the math.
I proceeded to take everything that man owned. I took his brand new dishes, even the dirty ones in the dishwasher, so I'd have a full set. His food, his toilet paper, his cleaning supplies. I jacked it all.
I like how you operate.
Were you moving out, or this is a neighbor of yours? So did you just go right back home and act like nothing happened?
What's he going to do? Call the cops on me for stealing my stuff back?
I get where you're coming from.
That's a great point.
That's kind of funny. I like that move.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's Atlassian.com/CONFLUENCE.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience. Independent financial advisors focus on building a relationship with you that goes beyond your portfolio. As fiduciaries, they must act in your best interest, not just some of the time, but always. That's why Charles Schwab is proud to support them. Visit findyourindependentadvisor.com.
Low carb, keto, yo-yo diets, GLP-1 injections, but you're never going to lose weight if your liver is clogged with fat. So what can you do? It's simple. Almaced. Almaced is a natural superfood protein shake that uses natural amino acids and bioactive peptides to help unclog your liver and optimize your metabolism so it's easier to lose weight. And it's been scientifically proven to preserve muscle mass. Join millions who have transformed their lives with Almaced. Find out more and see the university studies at almaced.com. That's ALMASED.com.
I've been working with a Nourish dietitian for the last 6 months, and it's been life-changing. I've lost weight, healed my relationship with food, and have way more energy. Working with a dietitian online to create a personalized nutrition plan was so easy thanks to Nourish. The best part? I pay $0 out of pocket because Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans. 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. Find your dietitian at usenourish.com. That's usenourish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know. 99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
They say if you can't afford an Uber, you probably can't afford to purchase a new car.
Probably.
A while back, a man in Florida, his name is Jason Vargesco. He went to a Hyundai dealership to finance a brand new vehicle. They looked into it. They denied him. So Jason got upset and stole a car from the lot after noticing the keys were left in the ignition. He did get away with it briefly. Authorities didn't have a problem tracking Jason down for two reasons. One, the car from the lot had a GPS sensor on it.
Yeah, of course.
And two, Jason had given his address to the dealership when he was trying to get financing. He admitted to police that he stole the vehicle because he was denied a car loan. He said he had no choice because he spent his last $50 on an Uber to get to the dealership. He was hit with a felony count of vehicle theft.
You know, he's not alone in being that stupid. There was a guy who kind of successfully robbed a bank a couple of years ago, and his plan was to make it subtle. He rolled in with a check. The teller takes it, and then he kind of indicates for her to flip it over. On the back, he'd, stick up whatever, give me what's in the drawer. And she very gladly handed him the money. And he walks out the door. And she flips the check back over, which has his address printed on it. Just called the cops and said, basically, just meet him at home. And the cops were there before he got home. There was another dude. It was like a Taco Bell or something. He robbed the Taco Bell. Same kind of thing. Opened all the registers, gave me the cash. Real calm. They gave him the cash, sent him on his way. The reason they were cool about it, he'd literally gone in there to apply for a job. So he'd written down all of his information, then robbed the place, and they were just like, sure, man, take everything you want.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Quick text here. Says in college, my roommate, he was the local weed guy. So he had a bunch of people in and out all hours of the day. Well, I guess he skimped someone one too many times, and they broke in and they stole his whole stash and all of his right shoes. Never found out who did it, and he was more mad about the shoes than he was about the stash being gone.
That's horrible.
That's a
Just
power
take
move.
both pairs.
No.
Or both of them.
Nope.
No, because then someone's going to wear them and you're going to see them. In this instance, you basically just screwed him.
I'm just screwing you over because you screwed me over in our drug deal.
We've read these stories before about a group of guys who break into a Foot Locker location or whatever the shoe store is.
And steal all the display shoes.
They take all the display shoes, which are all righties, and run out the door, and, they don't have a left shoe.
Right. I mean, Foot Locker's like, look, it's annoying, but we have insurance on this. You just have right shoes. So unless you're one-legged or you happen to have two right legs, this is no benefit.
You can't just go buy a left shoe.
Yeah, listen, Foot Locker. Hey, pal, did you just sell left shoes? Were you here last night? Nah, man, it wasn't me.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tony. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
So this is back when I was back in 1985, when I was 15.
All right.
And we ended up at a Chuck E. Cheese, and there one of the
that
doors
doesn't sound good
open.
the way you say it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just said we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Ted's right. The way you said it is already suspect. Like, every time you say something, we should just hear.
Ended up at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, I'd been there before, so as a youth, but now I'm 15, and one of the doors is open, and to the video games, and it's just tokens in there, so you really can't steal anything. But there was a key hanging inside the door, so we took that key, and it ended up opening up almost every video game in the whole city we were living in.
Also, you could actually take money from other machines and other places.
Yeah.
How much money do you think you got? How long did you guys manage to go around to different machines? Because, that's the heyday of the video arcade.
Right.
So how many different malls and Chuck E.
It
Cheese's
was
and everything else?
Shoot. It was turkey shoot. We were at a convenience store, and we were able to go click, 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 and just get as many credits as we wanted, and then just grab a bunch of quarters.
And then did you spit? So when you have the quarters, I may or may not have been involved in a quarter theft once, but I remember the cashier. Me and my buddy.
Stuff from 7-Eleven with it, we bought hot dogs with it and stuff.
So I remember one of the cashiers, my buddy spent his quarters first. Same, it wasn't 7-Eleven, but some other convenience store. And we loaded up on garbage that you eat when you're 15. And I just remember the lady looked at me and goes, "Do you guys get paid in quarters?" I'm like, no. So she knew we stole them. She didn't care. She didn't ask a lot of questions, but it's very obvious that your $12 purchase, you're like, I have $12 in quarters.
Yeah. We bought a pizza once in nickels.
And nickels?
And I thought that guy was going to kill us.
Man, how much was the pizza?
This is, mid-90, whatever. So it's a Domino's pizza. Probably couldn't have been more than $12 or $13.
All nickels.
And I don't even know why we had that many nickels.
Now, was this delivery or did you pick it up at the shop?
It was delivery.
Dude.
But we were like 13 or 14. I don't know why he had all those nickels, but that's all we had. And we were like, screw it. And I remember we talked about it. We still did it. And the guy was just begrudge. He did not want to take the money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of nickels.
240 nickels, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how did you hand them to him? Was it like in a bag, or did you just
honestly,
count them
we
out?
had like $20 in a giant bag, and we're just like, here you go.
Okay, all right.
Right? So, we thought, again, this is teenage, 13, 14-year-old minds. So we're like, well, we're tipping him, so he should be happy.
Yeah.
But the guy's like,
tip, bro.
Right. And look, he looked at us dead ass and was just like, what the F am I going to do with all these? There's $3 in there for you, sir.
Oh, Ted, so my buddy, my buddy's.
We were degenerates.
Not
one
even
buddy, his
quarters,
dad,
man.
sorry, Miles, he also had a descrambler.
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing. You buy this pizza with nickels. We're there alone. It's basically just a matter of waiting each other out before everybody else is going to sleep so you could watch porn.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So my buddy's uncle, let's just say that he had businesses, but he laundered money.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just say that.
He was his job, man.
Hypothetically.
He laundered money. So okay, now I knew this guy because when I was growing up and I was in high school, he had one of the coolest arcades that had the newest games in them.
All right.
So when you're a kid, yes, they had an arcade at the mall, but the arcade downtown that he owned was spectacular.
Bigger, better, more games.
Like they had Dragon
games.
Slayer when it came out. They had all the newer games, so you always wanted to go there. And they would have deals. So twice a week, for $1, you would get 8 tokens.
Okay.
All right.
Which you perceive as $2.
$2. But he also owned a laundromat and
Tokens?
he owned 2 car washes.
All tokens?
All tokens.
Yep.
Now, what my buddy, so now we're 18 years old, but they're still having the 2-for-1 deal on whatever it was, Tuesday or Wednesday to get kids in, in the summertime. Anyway, so my buddy says, look, he's like, here's something you need to know. His job was to manage all those operations. Now, the laundromat, he just kind of went in and cleaned up every night.
Sure.
Mopped the floors and all that stuff. The arcade, he vacuumed, whatever. He was just, the beginning, open, and that was his job. He never was there during the day. And like the car wash, he could show up once every 2 or 3 days because you don't really have to worry about tokens.
Yeah.
Being in the box. In that world, no one's going to go and steal those tokens. But what we would do is, anytime that we had, because when we were 18, we didn't have a laundromat. We would go to the arcade and we would get the 2-for-1 on the tokens. Those tokens worked at the laundromat. So when you wanted to do your laundry, you ran over to the arcade on Tuesday, you got double the tokens, or you could go wash your car if you wanted to. We never did that, but I didn't have a car when I was 18, but that was another option. All the tokens worked at all 3 locations. They were the exact same token.
Yep. I know a
he
guy.
laundered money.
Right, I know a guy that did it, and he did 3 years in federal penitentiary for laundering money for the PG County government.
Was he using tokens?
Yeah, car washes.
Yeah,
And it was great.
The way to go, because the truth is, and no one's ever said this, it's just a perception we have. They kind of colluded across the board, or it's like, look, if someone puts $1 in a machine, give them 4 tokens because the tokens are always about the size of a quarter. So we just estimate that a token is worth 25 cents. And we talked to a guy used to be in the mob, and he's like, look, bro, all up and down the East Coast, laundromats, car, you name it, if it used tokens, the mob ran it because the tokens said they could get like 100 of them for $1.50, right? But the way people perceive it, again, is that they're worth 25 cents a pop. He's like, they're not. He's like, there is no money value of a single token to be like, 0.03% of a cent. So he's like, we just raked in dough. They laundered the money and went to other things. But he goes, look, he said, if you're on the East Coast during whatever time it was and you put a token into a machine, the mob was running it.
Yeah.
That's actually brilliant.
And you'll notice why some places you literally use quarters.
Yes.
But
that's tit for tat, right?
Morgantown had parking lots, Ted, that ran on tokens for the actual meter. So when you parked in the parking lot, instead of going out and putting money in a slot or whatever, you got tokens out of a machine, and then you went and you paid.
Because they made money hand over fist, right? It's $3. They give you 12 tokens. Yeah. And there was a guy, this was in Georgetown outside of Washington, D.C., and on the weekends, that place blows up. You got all the colleges, people. It's an absolute magnet for drinking. It's got a bunch of bars. And you're still in D.C., so when there's an open-air parking lot, they have security guards. And I remember parking at this one parking lot probably 3 times in the course of a year. And the parking was reasonable. It's just like $20 all night, which that's kind of a steal. So it was always 2 guys out there in the vest, and all these people parked their cars, and they'd collect your money, and they'd give you change back and all this kind of thing. Never thought about it. But a year and a half later, I read in the paper, these 2 guys got busted because they were never hired by the parking lot. They had nothing to do with it. It was just like if you and I just walked out there and said, oh, hey, man, $20. No one thought about it. So they had stacks of cash every night. I mean, you saw it. And people are in and out. Like I said, $20. Everyone gave the money. The thing is, your car still was not broken into. Everything was fine, but they apparently worked like 2 or 3 parking lots. And you're like,
all you need is one of those red cone flashlights,
thousands.
probably, like traffic directing flashlights.
Dude, they had the flashlights. And like they didn't wear the orange vest, but it was the equivalent of the high-vis vest. So you just assume they worked there. And there's always the same 2 guys. So I never thought about it. And in the end, I kind of didn't care. I'm like, the car was fine. I just didn't know. We're literally handing these guys $20 a pop, not employees. Just 2 smart dudes that made a whole lot of money.
And that's the old Commander Stadium in Southwest D.C., RFK Stadium.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of parking, so you generally parked in people's lawns or on the street.
Sure.
But even if you parked on the street, somebody would hop off the stoop and be like $20. I remember my dad once being like, no, it's the street parking. He's like, do you want your car here?
Yeah.
Give him $20.
Yep, you do.
Right.
So look,
it's the trade.
Baltimore Sun, the Sunday paper. Someone would go to the actual newspaper box, and they would put in whatever money needed to open that door.
$1.50.
And they would steal the entire stack of newspapers. Then they would go to the intersection and sell you the Sunday newspaper for $1.
Yeah.
So if you were stopped, they would walk up to your car. You want $1.
And people, my dad did it every Sunday.
I did it whenever it was available.
And you knew that they stole it.
And the Baltimore Sun didn't care either. To be honest with you, they did not care.
They knew.
But it had all the coupons in it.
Well, papers made most of their bulk money off prescription.
Advertising.
Yeah, subscriptions, right? Not the one in the stand.
You'd watch these guys just open it, pull all of them out, walk 15 feet away to the corner. And you're like, cool, because it's cheaper than buying it out of the box.
Exactly. What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So this is about 19, 20 years ago. It wasn't myself. I guess I'm an accomplice on part of it, but my friends had noticed that the neighbor had left their garage door open and went out of town.
Ooh.
And they had multiple quads and dirt bikes. And so they decided one night to take two of my friends. They took a dirt bike and a quad, and we rallied the crap out of them. And then we noticed that there was signs posted for reward if it was returned. Well, one of my friends sold the dirt bike, and then after we rallied the quad and it got rolled a couple times and everything, I put it in the back of my truck and we returned it and got a $300 reward.
Jesus.
I didn't do it. I was an accomplice.
Where did you tell him?
Sounded very involved in this.
Where did you tell him you found the quad?
We told him it was in the woods. This is up in Bonnie Lake, and yeah.
That's why you don't leave your garage door open, right? And it's like nobody wants to be robbed, but the expectation of being robbed is so high and such a regular thing that if you said, I left my garage door open when I went on vacation, what would everyone tell you? You're an idiot. You're a fool. Of course they're going to steal. So you always say, man, no one should steal. But we know damn well they're going to. That's why you have a lock on your door. Yeah. That's why you freak out like, oh, my God, did we lock the door? And look, if you want to kick open a door, it's as easy as kicking open a door. But somehow if it's unlocked, like my wife was met like about a week ago. She's like, you left the kitchen door unlocked all night. I'm like, I didn't think about it. Well, over the summer, where we're in and out of the garage more, I woke up one morning, opened the door. No one took anything, but the garage door was wide open. And you kind of have that, let me do a quick inventory, because I'm like, you're inviting people to grab all of your crap because I left it wide open when clearly we're asleep.
What? I mean, look, I still live in an apartment building. It happened to me a few weeks ago.
What's that?
I came home from the grocery store and just had my hands full, so I just didn't put my deadbolt on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was sitting on my couch, and I could hear people right outside my door, and I was like, yeah, it must be my neighbors. And the door opened, 2 women with cakes and balloons came in, and I was like, hey! And they're like, I think we're in the wrong house. And I was like, you are? And they were like, but it seems pretty close to here. And I just did a quick little thing, and I was like, are you guys from Atria originally? And they were like,
yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, just here, walk out my slider. You want to be next door.
Go on my slider. Let's catch it.
At least, hey, cakes and balloons. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
How about you can stay if you want.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hang out for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just know my neighbors to the right. They were just a building off, but I know they're from there. I had talked to them before. They used to live in Texas, so they college football. So I was just like, you want to hang out with them.
You ladies like soccer?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to hang out with me and Carol and Frank that live next to me.
Hello, Dane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola. So what's up, stolen?
It was pretty interesting. I was living in Boston. I actually talked to you guys yesterday, so yeah, I'm the same one. The first 2 days living in my apartment, I got broken into. 2 laptops got stolen, an iPod Touch, and an iPhone. But the crazy thing about it is that my roommate was in the shower, literally walked out of the bathroom, and he said he saw his phone cable swinging from the window. And then called the cops. Cops showed up. They're like, yeah, you have a fire escape. There is no lock on the fire escape. There's a handprint on the fire escape. Somebody came in through the fire escape and stole this. The next day, my other roommate, who was in the same bedroom, because it was the 2 guys, he was asleep, and he had his phone in his hand because he's a dead hard sleeper. And somebody broke in while he was sleeping and took his phone out of his hand while he was sleeping. So 2 break-ins, 2 days in a row.
And no one ever caught this guy?
Nope. Called the cops both times. Only thing we ever did was try to get a hold of our property manager, be like, hey, they said that all the locks were inspected. Clearly they weren't, and the property manager was just like, hey, we'll give you half off next month. I'm like, nope, we're not going to do that. That says that, yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Boston.
This is going to happen again and again.
We used to steal with the help of the fire escape.
Yeah.
So, 18 years old, back to the same apartment where we didn't have a laundromat. We had a fire escape out the back. We were on the 3rd floor of this building. When you got down to the bottom, there was about it's probably, the ladder stopped at about 6.5 feet.
Yeah, it's about right.
All right. So, right beside us was Chico Dairy. Chico Dairy was also a bakery. And they had a loading dock out back. And they would make donuts. They made all the things in their convenience stores that you could walk up, you get a donut, you get the equivalent of a Maple Bar, whatever they're making.
Yeah.
But they also made pepperoni rolls, which were fantastic. They were just buns filled with pepperoni and cheese. If you never had one, might not sound great. They are fantastic.
It's a West Virginia staple.
It is. And they would air them out on the back deck on huge racks that were, there were 12 big pans.
Yeah, the sheet trays and
per roller unit. And they would put them out back to cool before they bagged them. And they would bakers bake every night. So at 18 years old, you're up at 3:30 in the morning. You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The overnight crew, trucks are pulling into that back at about 4:30.
Yeah.
That early in the morning. But if you got there before that, but my buddy Brett, he still does this. He is a rock climbing instructor. He works at the wall at West Virginia University. He does outdoor stuff. He teaches rappelling and all this stuff. He's basically a trained monkey.
Yeah.
So he was the guy that could honestly do a pull-up and pull himself up that ladder without even swinging his legs or nothing. So we would send Brett down with a garbage bag, and he would go and he would dump whatever was down there into the garbage bag, and then like Santa Claus, throw the damn thing over his shoulder, reach up with one arm and pull himself up to the point where he could reach up with a bag, and he would do a pull-up. It was amazing to watch. He was like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he just scaled that damn thing, man, and when he came to the top, it was just, these things were hot. The donuts were hot. They were hot. I mean, it's different to get a donut, but man, when you get a hot,
fresh one
out of the oven donut or a pepperoni roll, and I think they knew it was us. We never really got busted. I don't know if they would have cared or not because we knew most of the people that worked there because we would go on the back deck and drink beer and all night and talk to everybody anyway. So they probably had a pretty good idea it was us.
I'm sure they knew.
Because Brett would leave the steel pan on the side where that whole rack was. Obviously, there's a whole pan missing. It's, they probably thought it was someone in the alley or they knew it was us, but
they knew it was you.
Either way.
Yeah.
What was stolen from you? Or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because DSW has the exact right shoes for whatever you're into right now. You know, like the sneakers that make office hours feel like happy hour. The boots that turn grocery aisles into runways. And all the styles that show off the many sides of you, from daydreamer to multitasker and everything in between. Because you do it all in really great shoes. Find a shoe for every you at your DSW store or DSW.com.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Shocking that we haven't been fired after 20 years. And because of that, Black Raven Brewing is hooking us up with the Men's Room 20th Anniversary Lager. Tasting crisp and refreshing. On draft, in cans. They're the bright silver cans. the IPA in the bright yellow cans.
That's correct.
But the lager's fantastic. We're going to have a launch party this Friday, 2 to 6, Black Raven Brewing in Woodinville. Live broadcast. You are invited. The sausage will be there. The salsa will be there. You will be a part of the live studio audience as we celebrate and kick off our 20th year celebration.
Have you had the lager on draft yet?
On draft, I have not.
Me neither, man.
I am going to crack one here at about a half an hour.
I'm going to drink
right before emails.
I've had a lot of them out of the can. I plan on joining you in that. I have not had it on draft yet.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. It's Friday afternoon. Hopefully you can join us for the men's room lager launch party, which goes down this Friday. It's going to be a good time. So hopefully you'll be able to stop by.
The lager launch, man, that sounds like a water flume at an amusement park, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Come on down to the lager launch.
You're on water. You're in one of those.
But it's a fast one.
You're in a flume or
You're in
whatever.
a barrel. The problem with those is, like, they're not bad, man. But, like, as soon as you sit in the thing, you're kind of wet because it's always wet from the people before you. But they're so slow until that final last drop.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I mean, some of them have a few more bumps and stuff along the ride.
Well, you get those little curvy things, and it's like, all right. Like, and I get it. Like, when my kids were little, that part was cool for them. Of course, they screamed going down the final one. But, like, they need a more adult one, too.
I think you also
roller coasters.
you get to a point if you go to the same park twice.
Yeah.
Or you look at that ride, you can figure out where to sit where you either get wet or you don't get as wet.
Oh, trust me, and I know it sounds bad, but and look, I enjoy the water flume, but it's like I don't feel like getting soaked. Depending on the chair, if it's super hot, then yeah, I'll get wet. But if it's 75 degrees, I would position the kids because they didn't know it yet. So when we went down, they just got obliterated with water.
Nice.
And pretty much kept me dry.
Well, the problem is those, like in Disney World and Animal Kingdom, there's one of those rides. It's like a giant White River rafting, but it's round.
Yeah.
So it's like fake rapids and stuff. So everybody gets kind of wet, but you don't know how it's going to spin.
Yes,
and there's only
right.
two
Yes.
people that got soaked, and I am like a magnet for getting soaked.
I've been on those before, and you're right, because the thing just spins the whole time. You're like, good damn it, and you see the rapids coming up. Yeah, you try to shift your weight.
Here's a little pro tip, by the way. If you happen to join us, we will have the 20th anniversary lager on draft as well as the men's room IPA. But keep this in mind. Friday afternoon from 2 to 6, stop by, get a few draft beers, hang with us, be a part of the show. On the way home, if you're going to a little football party, let's say on Sunday, they have to go 6-packs. So if you're going to someone's house and you want to send and bring a nice little welcoming gift, you can get a mix and match case of beer, pick up a couple 6-packs, and you're already good to go. You've already got stuff in hand. You never want to walk into a party empty-handed. Now you've got the men's room IPA and a men's room 20th anniversary.
Not a bad call.
You're not wrong. Just my pro tip is, and this is me, and I try to do this as much as I can, you bring the one cheap sixer that you don't necessarily care about, and then you bring one of ours, see? But when you crack a beer, you crack the one you want, which is ours, and then hopefully other people are drinking the other beer.
Well, the thing is that you spread the word when you bring the beer, and if people try it and they like it, then they'll be more inclined to buy it.
I know,
So
but
it
in that
helps
moment,
us.
they're drinking more of the beer. But you're right. What you need to do to spread the word is go, man,
Yeah.
you guys don't know what you're missing.
Help out our friends there at the 3 local Fisher houses. All right, a question, what was stolen from you? Or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So to keep a short story nice and sweet, I went and saw the Shane Gillis show this weekend down at Climate Pledge.
Great show.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we parked in a parking garage right across the street from the Climate Pledge, and almost kind of like an omen as we were leaving after we parked, a cop pulled through and said, "Hey, have you guys seen anybody doing anything suspicious, like who shouldn't be here?" And we were like, "No, we just got here. Nothing suspicious." Went into the show. We got out, 2 hours later, and the entire floor level of the garage we parked in, every single car had been broken into and robbed, except for our car.
What kind of car were you driving?
It's a blue Kia Optima.
That's why I didn't break into
They're
it.
like, right, there's nothing about it. Yeah. So seriously, every car down there.
Did you not, did you put, your backpacks and everything in the trunk?
My cousin, it was his car that we took down there, and he had just got it cleaned and vacuumed. It was pristine. There was nothing in it.
I hate to say this, and it sucks, because I still love Seattle. But if you're in Seattle proper, put everything in your trunk. If you
they
have
can see
anything
it.
people can see, they will bust your window.
And if they really want it, they're going to bust your window anyway and just pop the trunk.
Right, so just make sure there's nothing visible, right?
Right, because that's why they're going in. They're going in if they see something on the seat.
Ryan, did you happen to see the Ted Smith at the Shane Gillis show?
I did not know.
Well, there's this awesome picture of Shane Gillis,
Adam Ray,
Coach, Adam Ray,
Coach McDonald,
Cal Raleigh.
So this picture's been floating around, just kind of telling you, hey, Shane Gillis was here. Some of the heavy hitters from Seattle were with him, and just so you know, and this is the honest God truth, we just heard Ted say the other day, God damn it, they cropped me out. So Ted was with them, and they cropped out Ted and his buddy. As they're all like arm in arm.
Yeah.
For this picture that is now floating around everywhere in Seattle. Ted was there. There's just no evidence.
I was backstage. I was talking to Coach.
It's like what you do with an ex.
Right, exactly.
Just conveniently. Or like what Ryan Reynolds does when he's celebrating his wife's birthday. You know?
Right.
Yeah, like I still love the Seahawks, but damn, man, you cropped me out.
So how many different places have you seen this picture? Because I've seen it a few times, and it's not like on people's Instagram, but just like, Como News. Hey, Shane Gillis was
Miles today in the office goes, hey, Ted, look at this. Yahoo Sports is like, Coach McDonald had a big night out.
Yes,
that
Cal
picture?
Raleigh, Adam Ray.
Damn, man.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
All the famous people were there.
They should at least
And
put in
Ted
parentheses. The Ted Smith was here. We cropped him out.
If you go to the Mathis Instagram, they used my photo.
Of course.
But I feel like everybody else picked it up off the
It's
Mathis.
doctored. He put himself in there.
Crop me out.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
It wouldn't be so bad if the picture didn't just kind of become the de facto picture to explain that night.
Correct.
Because now it's floating around everywhere, and I'm like, Ted was there. Ted is literally right next to this guy.
Chad and I were the ones that, we should all get a photo. Now, look, Adam and Shane, I think they were already getting a photo, but we were like, we should all get them. And then they were like, yeah, get Coach McDonald in here, too. We were like, this is great.
Did Adam Ray remember you from your last weird...
He did.
Okay.
He's going to come on the show. He's a super nice guy.
How about Coach McDonald?
I don't think Coach McDonald...
He's probably got some kind of contract with the Cairo or
yeah,
whoever does
he's
the
over there
football,
with,
or he does a coach's show. So
he does it like Brock and Salk in the morning.
He can't come on our station.
No.
It's
But
exclusive.
He was very nice, too. And it's just weird. Like, you forget he's an NFL coach, but he lived in Baltimore for that long.
Right.
We worked in Baltimore. His wife's from Northern Virginia, where my brother lives. So, I mean, we were just kind of chatting about stuff like that. And then...
But they're not in the picture.
No.
Well,
Sure
the best
you are.
part is, my apologies to Mariners fans. I did not recognize Cal Raleigh. Thought he was a very attractive man. And at one point, like Dumb and Dumber, I look at him and he's eating hummus. And I go, hummus, huh? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, is it good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right.
That's all
What
you
kind
said?
of conversation is that,
I
man?
don't know. I just was trying to strike up some conversation. That's all I
Hummus,
got.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you always do go to the food bowl when people are eating stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think you mean to. I think that's just what you do.
Well, listen, even for Shane, right? He doesn't know Coach McDonald. He was like, they just told me he was here. Could he come backstage? And he was like, of course. But like, even for Cal, it's odd. Because not everybody knows everybody, so nobody's really eating. And I was taking advantage of the Bud Lights. Thanks, Shane. So he was the only one that was eating. And I was like, hummus, yeah.
He's probably the one who said, crop that weirdo out of the
He
picture.
is not coming on the show then. What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Adam's definitely pumped to come on the show, though.
All right, good. So ask him about this
Thank
picture.
God.
And also, shout out to Shane Gillis. He set a record that night for that arena.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as what, the attendance?
Right, the attendance record.
Damn.
Wow.
That's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, he doesn't have much of a stage, I guess, right? He doesn't need to take up all
Right,
that
so you
space.
fit
So was he
more
like more in
people
the, was he like in the round?
Yeah, he did it just
Okay.
center in the round there. Like Big J. Okerson, like when he does his act, which is good, but he just sits on a stool and looks in one direction. He kind of plays with the crowd. But like Adam and Shane like walk around the stage and kind of talk to different angles of the arena.
And then crop your ass out of the picture that's
right.
used nationally. I know, man. Just so close. So close.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
I did like somebody emailed us or tweeted me. He was like, I thought that was you, man. Because you know me. I'm just chirping people in the beer line. And he had a beer in his pocket. I was like, that beer looks cozy. And he's like, yeah, thanks, dude.
You like hummus?
Here. That's what Cal Raleigh eats. FYI.
Backstage hummus.
Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, my friend. Hola.
Hola.
All right, calling from New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
And I'm going back to the late 1970s when things were a lot more fun. a bunch of friends and I, we were teenagers, and we would find our way to purchase some Boone's Farm apple wine and blackberry brandy.
Yep, I remember it well.
And then we'd stock up and tell our family, hey, we're going to go sleep over at a friend's camp out in his yard, like a block away. And we had a tent. We'd go there, and we'd drink all of our, Thunderbird, for lack of a better phrase. And then we wait till about 3:34 in the morning when the delivery trucks were delivering to the stores up on the main drag. And then we'd go down the main drag and steal all the goods. Go back to the tent and had a wonderful feast.
What were your main
what were you stealing, like
targets?
Little Debbie's, or what are we talking about here?
No, we had, frozen hot dogs, hamburgers, snack stuff, sweet stuff. We didn't care. Because at that point in time, we were so stupid drunk. We were probably like 16, 17, give or take. We didn't care. If it was free, it was good.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, man, if I'm in New Jersey, knowing the food deal in New Jersey, I'd let Little Debbie and Hostess go by. It's like, no, I'm waiting for the Italian stuff. Anything that is made in New Jersey, those are the food trucks that I'm targeting. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it.
Let me help you out. Let me help you out. We were in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey.
Where is that in the state?
Parsippany is the biggest town surrounding it.
I've never even heard of that.
I've heard of it. I just don't know where it is.
Morristown, Morris County. It's in Morris County.
Okay.
About half hour from Manhattan.
I was going to say, New York part or
part.
Philly part.
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely stealing the food, man.
Taking a roll of Taylor ham.
I told you, man, we used to steal from the Royal Farms by our place all the time.
But didn't you say like when you stole?
But you were stealing
in
in the store.
Right. So, like, as you were checking out, there's, like, candy bars and, like, gum and acids. You would just put your hands down there and fill up your pockets.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one time I woke up and I didn't see what I was grabbing, but there was, like, 20 fast break bars and, like, 20 things of Rolaids.
But you love fast break, right?
I do. That was a bonus.
Probably needed the Rolaids.
Probably. Right. And then the other part of that story is one night we're in there and a guy stole, like a sizable amount of something. We chase him out the store. My buddy tackles him. We come back in, and the woman goes, "Thank you so much. You can have anything you want in this store for free." And we went, "We wouldn't dream of it. Couldn't do it. We're just doing our part."
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803.
We'll be back tomorrow to steal.
Right. I will do it tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Man, it's been a cold morning driving to work. So this just happened yesterday. I was over on North 50 in Seattle, and I do renovations and home remodels for an event. I have to have some of my tools in my truck at all times, hopping from place to place. And I'm just parked on a very busy road, people walking all over the place, cars driving. And someone had the gall to bash out my driver's side window and take about $1,500 worth of my tools from me.
And you said this was yesterday?
Trying to find the guy, but just yesterday. It happened within an hour. I was at the job site. Man,
damn.
Yeah.
Do you know
my pack outs?
Do you know anyone who has professional tools in their vehicle on the regular who has not had them stolen? I feel like that's the story I hear over and over and over. You got professional tools in your vehicle. Sooner or later, someone breaks that window and takes it.
It seems to happen once to everybody. This is the first big one, big hit for me, and I've been doing this about 15 years. But now I'm gonna lock them up tight from now on, and not have anything in my truck.
Are they insured?
Yeah, could you insure those?
No, well, I guess you could, but no, with so many tools and so many hand tools and little things you have, it's really hard to do that.
Well, the insurance company might say, "Did you leave them in your truck?" And you said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, it'll cover
pre-existing condition."
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They got to break into your house. You never know. Steve, didn't you have a buddy who said he was down in Burien and parked his truck for something, or he had a work thing, or whatever the deal was, or what?
Okay, so this is what I found out. I had misunderstood the story. He has a truck, and it looks like a work truck in his driveway. And, I mean, they live in the middle of Seattle, so the driveway's not very big. It's just one of those that kind of aims directly down to a garage. The garage is full of life when you have 4 kids, so it's parked outside. Now, keep in mind, between him and his wife, they each have a decent, nice vehicle to drive around in, and then he has this ratty-ass, beat-up truck sitting in the driveway. And, like, my wife and I have borrowed it to go to the dump. It is that vehicle. So someone stole it out of his driveway. That's the part I did not realize. What's funny is my buddy John beer guy, apparently was at his house with him that night and said something to the effect of, man, it sounded like a vehicle was leaving the driveway, but we didn't think that was the case. Anyway, so they stole the truck. The truck was found the next day in Burien, but I mean, it was stripped of everything. The tires gone, wheels gone, and like anything,
Was it up on cinder blocks?
It's up on blocks. And I was like, well, what'd you do? He's like, man, because look, the truck's not worth a ton of money, but it's frustrating because he does do a lot of like physical stuff, so he drives crap around. So he went to all these used tire places, bought used wheels, and got it back. But he's like, yeah, I did not know where it was. But the cops call him the next day, like, truck's in Burien, and we know it was stolen because it's up on blocks. He's like, cool.
Dude, that happened to my mom at one of the last places she was living. And I'd be like, Mom, you got to get out of that building. It's not that bad. I'm like, they stripped your car of the tires.
Right.
And they stole one of her doors.
So
They stole a door?
A door.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's a woman who works in this building.
I was just like, I was like, that building in that neighborhood, sometimes it's just in one of those little nooks where it's like that area you're in is bad.
And it's an easy target. It probably has some kind of buffer to the general public, I'm guessing. We have a woman that works in this building, and for like the last month, every time she sees me in Miles, she's like, these goddamn people, apparently who live downstairs. So my guess is she's on the second floor. People that live on the first floor, it's not a fire escape. She's like, I'll hear their ladder bang against my window, and they're climbing up to steal stuff. And when I see them, they disappear real quick. But she's come home a few times, and they've gone through the kitchen window, and they've stolen some crap. And she's like, it doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter the threat. So her son, grown man, but her son has a pit bull.
He was moving away or something.
Who's been staying with her? She's like, I see that ladder pop up. They walk up, that dog is staring at him. What did she tell us the other day? So they climb down the ladder real fast, and then the ladder pops up at another window. Same guys, and it's a dog, man. So the dog's already at the other window looking at him, and then they went away. So this pit bull has like been her saving grace. She's like,
as far as not getting her stuff stolen.
I do not have problems, but I'm like, you move to a different window thinking the dog isn't going to piece that together.
What was stolen from you, or if you want to admit it, what did you steal? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bill. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Hola.
Hola. Hey, so this took place probably the mid-'90s. I grew up in a rural area, and I moved to Seattle, kind of naive, and I moved to White Center. It was a nice apartment complex, vaulted ceilings, fireplace, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, looked kind of new. And like the second day, one of the apartments got broke into, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then 2 days later, somebody was evicted. Everybody pilfered all their stuff, took it all away. I was like, oh, this is pretty bad. So I started, asking questions. And White Center wasn't that great, that I found out. So I've been there about a week and a half, and my good buddy Matt calls me up and says, hey, Bill, I'm here to see your new apartment. I said, oh, yeah, where you at? I'm in the parking lot. I said, oh, yeah, what you
Hang on.
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
No more brown words, but we understand.
I know this. Yeah. I've been listening to you guys since the 70s. I know this. What the heck?
Well, we're only in our, single digits.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. No worries, man.
Okay. So I run downstairs to meet my buddy Matt on the ground floor because I was up on the 3rd floor, and I meet him. I said, "Oh, buddy, we got to go back to your car." He says, "Why?" I said, "This is not a great neighborhood." We run back to his '69 Carmagia, and 3 of his hubcaps are gone within like 2 minutes. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And there's nobody around anywhere.
Hey, man, look, they might be up to no good, but they're real good at what they do. I mean, it's like when these guys...
Professionals.
It is amazing, but you're talking about people getting evicted and people's stuff disappearing. At least in my teen years, when I lived in Baltimore, people got evicted all the time, right? And if you were not home when you got evicted...
They just put it out on the front street.
Right. You did not come home to anything. We called it the Baltimore garage sale because you'd just be on the bus, whatever, and you could tell when someone's evicted, just the way their stuff's stacked outside. And there's like 30 people from the neighborhood taking all the stuff. Like, it's your neighbor. It's not like people came from other places. It's like, dude.
No, they're not really technically your neighbor anymore.
If you're wondering where your TV is, the guy you live next to, he's got it. Your sofa, like the other person, they've got it. It was unreal.
Steve Mix from the Daily Mix Morning Show is on the way. We're going to sit and spin. And today at 4:30, we have 10 songs that don't have the title of the song in the lyrics. And we get your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
When you're on the go and it's time to refresh your energy, grab an ice-cold Celsius, where 0 sugar, 7 essential vitamins, and proven ingredients meets pure refreshment. Unlike traditional energy drinks, each sip of Celsius is a perfect balance of flavor and function. So, whether you're hitting the gym, the office, or your next adventure, grab a Celsius at your local retailer or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
Independent financial advisors focus on building a relationship with you that goes beyond your portfolio. As fiduciaries, they must act in your best interest, not just some of the time, but always. That's why Charles Schwab is proud to support them. Visit findyourindependengadvisor.com. The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
I've been working with a Nourish dietitian for the last 6 months, and it's been life-changing. I've lost weight, healed my relationship with food, and have way more energy. Working with a dietitian online to create a personalized nutrition plan was so easy thanks to Nourish. The best part? I pay $0 out of pocket because Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans. 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. Find your dietitian at usenourish.com. That's usenourish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show coming up. We're going to sit and spin. We've got 10 songs that do not have the title in the lyrics. That's on the way at 4:30. But first, time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
And a few from our questionnaire about thieving. Let's see. Back in the late 70s, Klamath Falls, Oregon, we were 9 or 10. We go around the neighborhood at night and steal stuff out of people's gardens, fruits and vegetables, then just walk around and eat them. Nothing big, just a lot of fun back in the day. Good times. That from Raymond. What else we got? Guys, my buddy got tired of his tools being stolen from his truck. So he filled an old suitcase with dog crap and left it in the back. The rest is history.
Oh, yeah.
That from Christopher. Let's see. Matt writes in, guys, teenager, best friend and I decided to sign up for a ride along with a cop, purely for research purposes related to our thieving endeavors. We walked into the station, confused the person at the front desk, got sent next door to the detective's office. Their lone guy had no idea what we were talking about, told us to go back into the lobby. As soon as he shut his door, my friend spotted a magnetic cop light on a shelf, grabbed it, and we casually walked back to our car. So, yeah. We stole from a police station and still have the light.
That is ballsy.
And guys, back when I was a teenager, my punk-ass former brother-in-law stole my Nintendo 64. I was like 15 or 16. He just got in a car accident. He was stuck at home for weeks. So I was nice and let him borrow my Nintendo with 10, 12 games. About a month later, went to get it back. He had pawned off all my stuff and spent the money on booze and weed. It's been 20 years, and I'm still mad. Punk-ass Jesse. You guys rock. That from Andy Mack. As we move on to the birthday request. Guys, today's my awesome son Jackson's 8th trip around the Great Ball of Fire. He is the best son ever, and I'm super proud of him. So can we get a kid fish sandwich, montage, and Coach Ted, please? Thank you, guys. Love you, Bubba. Lots of love from Dad.
Fish sandwich!
8 years old, huh? It's a big birthday. Now, sometimes Coach will tell you go somewhere and get a large cheeseburger, maybe a milkshake too. You deserve it. But tonight, Coach is giving you a special admission. You look your dad right in the eye and you say, "Dad, we're getting a cheeseburger pizza, the best of both worlds. I'm 8 years old and I deserve it, Dad."
Gentlemen, today's my 46th birthday. I want to wish myself a very happy one. Also wanted to give a shout out to my daughter Stella. By the time you read this on the air, we'll be at Red Robin celebrating my 46th birthday.
Nice.
So could I get a click-clack from Ted, a drinkity-drunk from Thrill, and some dad jokes from Miles? Thanks, guys. And rock on. That from Ryan.
Click-clack.
Drinkity-drunk.
Get the full tower.
Yes.
All right. Two robbers are robbing a liquor store. One guy picks up a bottle and says, "Is this whiskey?" The other says, "Yeah, but not as whiskey as robbing a bank." Did you guys hear about the letter of the alphabet that went crazy?
No.
D's nuts. Yeah, one more.
I've never heard that version of that joke.
I know. I thought I'd heard every version.
Yeah, exactly. D is nuts.
That's right. Guys, a lion would never play golf.
No.
A lion would never play golf.
Too many cheetahs?
No. A lion would never play golf, but a tiger would.
Okay. All right.
Get it?
R.I.P. to Tiger Spawn.
Yeah, no kidding. Guys, your best rockaholic, Carrie turns 55 today. Please give her some of your best dad jokes for Miles and the best from the captain. Please look at the poster I made for her birthday. Thanks, guys. That from Randy. He took a bunch of old concert tickets and some old KISW stickers from back in the day and put them in a really nice frame.
Yeah, that is very cool.
That's very cool. All right, let's see here. Dad jokes for Carrie. Why don't the members of Fish eat peanut butter? Why don't the members of Fish eat peanut butter?
I don't know.
They're a jam band.
Okay.
All right.
Why don't the members of the Grateful Dead eat peanut butter?
They're a jam band.
No, most of them are dead. And do you know the funniest part about Valentine's Day? The funniest part about Valentine's Day, this is safe, I think.
What?
All the people walking around with a heart on.
Heart on, yeah.
Heart on. Captain.
Oh, yes. Sorry, distracted me.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. Nothing better than saying happy birthday to a person with the same name twice. Jerry. You might remember when they honored me in the classic Robin Williams film, Dead Poets Society. All the sad teen boys stood on the desk and said, my captain, my captain. Little known fact, I was off camera, but that's the only way they would say it if they could say it to me. Captain Crunch. I was happy to oblige. My only stipulation was that I had to be pantsless. And they obliged. Crunch berries.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
When your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up at 5:08, we will drink a toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check on Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Science says classical music soothes a baby's heart in the womb.
How did they know that? Well, I guess you could hook up an EKG.
Yeah, right.
Classical music.
You can check out the heart as you go.
And then when your kid's born, they'll hate it.
But haven't we known this for a while, that kids can hear music in the womb and playing music for them is a healthy thing to do?
Yeah, and it's always classical music. It's good with plants. It's good with babies.
Right.
It's good with animals. Sure, we get it. It's just not enjoyable for most people.
But does other music... Well, you can do the headphones thing so that you don't have to hear it.
Sure. Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it.
But does other music detract? You know what I mean?
I would think so. I think like pop music, hip-hop, and rock probably accelerate their heartbeat because it's designed to do that.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, just get the beats going in.
Sure.
Like you kind of follow along a little bit. Like nobody listens to classical music before they're going to do a boxing match.
Not
know what I mean?
you.
You listen. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, but put on Gojira. See what the kid does.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, just see if it really does increase their heartbeat down there and their
throwing up devil horns.
Exactly.
Just moshing in the gut.
Yeah, why not?
Your baby's head banging.
Since texting took over in 2005, we've lowered our daily talk time by 3,000 words.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I mean, but it makes sense. Like sometimes I just need to text you, not call you, because if I call you, inevitably we use more words than we need to convey the information.
Correct.
Right?
There has to be
Do
a
you
whole
want
song
this
and dance
for
of
dinner?
love.
I can say chicken. I'm done. If I call, then there's a whole conversation for me to just say chicken.
Right. And some of it's just with certain friends.
Sure.
Like I have some friends that we text all the time. I just rarely talk to. And I know if I talk to them, it's going to be 40 minutes.
Right.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, we'll just keep texting. And then if we do call, we try to set it up like, okay, let's do a phone call.
And that was a big thing when texting took over, was a lot of the etiquette that we had on phones was still kind of being translated over to text, but then it switched into this new world that we hadn't had before, which is an open conversation that never ends.
Right.
You know,
Right,
usually
right.
when you're in a new relationship with somebody, you're texting them, and then you'll say the hellos and the goodbyes in the text there. But after a while, it's just, here's what I have to say, here's the question that I have, and here's the response.
But that's also what I expect and hope for from a text.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the brass tacks, bro.
Exactly.
Just
How many times have I texted all three of you guys like, hey, don't forget that we got this coming up today?
Done. That's all we need.
That's all it is.
We get it.
I don't need anything.
Right. Like, I text you a decent amount. But generally, if I call you before work, you know, it's like...
It's
all right,
not good.
We got to talk.
Or it's like a work question, or just, you know, like Friday is one of those days. We'll be out at the brewery at Black Raven in Woodinville from 2 to 6, sort of live show.
There'll be much more communication.
So
That's
at some
inevitable.
point, I will call him and be like, hey, do I need to bring my this, and you'll go, yes, no, yes.
I'm in the Uber on the way, man. I'm sorry.
Right. I just don't feel like texting that much.
Exactly. A new study found that
Also,
women...
are the whores there yet?
I tend to do that with my wife, though. Not ask her the horse there yet, but...
Oh.
There may be one of those things. She'll send me a text, and I respond. Then I get another text right after that, and I realize, okay, she's literally sitting on her phone waiting. So I would just call.
There you go.
Like, otherwise, this text is going to go on for 15 minutes, and everything's a yes or no question. So ask me everything you need to know now, and let's be done with this.
Right. A new study found that women are more talkative than men.
New study?
Whoa. Who got paid for that?
As long as I've been alive, they've said that. And it's not a diss on women anyway, but like, as long as I've been alive, that has been what they say.
No, it's just not. Brevity is not part of that game.
Right.
We should see if we can get money for a study to see if men like beer.
Right. We should.
Yeah.
And
You
the
know?
thing is, you can. And what we really, years ago, we were like, wait, we would just read all these dumb studies where you already knew the answer to it. But you realize people get funding either through a university or from the government or some company to tell you what you already know.
Right.
Men use condoms more than women. Yes.
What do you know?
Hey, stunning. How much money can I get to tell you that?
Right.
It is freaking ridiculous.
To solidify common sense and common knowledge.
Yeah, that's basically it. We just wanted to prove it.
Right.
Because men have penises, they do use these condoms more. Like, oh, you're
Well, look at
right.
there.
We never actually verified it. Thank you for taking the time to let us know.
Yeah. Men prefer using urinals.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
My
Men
God.
more likely to use urinals than women.
We need $250,000 in grant money.
Yeah, it turns out it's true.
What do you know?
Women always know if they're the mother.
Man,
well, they birth them.
I knew so many people on that. First kid was born. Like, it's exciting. I said, actually, dude, things got weird. Like, my kid was born. I'm not sure that my wife is the mother. And for 1 second, everyone's like, oh, my God. I'm like, just think about it.
All right, give it a second.
Sit on that for a
That's
minute.
the most elaborate ruse that she's ever pulled. Because I was in the room, brother. I'm telling you, she went through a lot of trouble.
That's a hell of a magic trick,
It
man.
really is.
All right, kid, I'm sorry.
Right. Just get in there and cry on cue.
This is going to suck for you, man. Hang in there.
Hold your breath for a few, and then come out crying.
Oh, my God.
I had sex with a different woman, and then this other woman gave birth to my kid.
Hey, Doc, can you make it look like this is difficult?
Yeah. Ow. Ooh.
I'm pushing.
Yeah.
What's that the guy that's like,
I need more drugs.
I never met my real father. He died 2 years before I was born. It's got to sit there like, does anyone want to explain this to him? Or do
Right.
we just, oh,
Come on,
okay.
buddy. Come on. Something we all have in common in this room is that we
Well, my mom's friend Bert was always very friendly.
Something that we all have in common in this room is that we love to laugh. But did you know that there's some truth to saying that laughter is the best medicine?
All right.
Actually, there's a lot of benefits.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
The top 10 benefits of laughter. With the catastrophic snow event we suffered through, note sarcasm, I thought maybe, just maybe, today's the day. A security guard asked me how my day was going after coming back in from a poison pleasure break. I told her it would be a lot better if I saw someone bite it on the icy sidewalks. That would make me laugh. Instead, I carry on my shoulders the bitter disappointment of nary a slip and fall. But you know what? I have hope.
Thing is, he's not lying.
No, he's not. No,
He
he's
told
not.
me yesterday, he's, oh, yeah, I told the security guard. And I'm like, man, I didn't see anyone slip and fall, and that would have been awesome. That is actually a true story. Just for a little pick-me-up.
Just to make his day a little brighter, damn it. Come on, help the guy out. So there's some surprising benefits of laughing. Bottom of the list, they say it costs absolutely nothing. It's free. Make yourself and others feel good with a free laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
It just, yeah. Find whatever it is that makes you laugh. Number 9, it feels like eating 2,000 chocolate bars. According to the British Dental Health Foundation, a smile gives the same level of stimulation as eating 2,000 chocolate bars.
Damn.
The results were found after scientists measured brain and heart activity in volunteers as they were shown pictures of smiling people and given money and chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, look, I did it Saturday, and I feel like I do it every time I go to a comedy show. Like, I should just go to more.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's just fun. You're sitting there laughing. And obviously, you got to know who the comic is, which you're going to get into.
Sure.
But
Maybe. My wife dragged me out to, it was probably 2 years ago. And sorry, I do not remember the guy's name, but apparently he's a local comic. He had toured a little bit. May have had a special. I don't know. I didn't even recognize his name, but she said he's playing at, the place under the crocodile. Madame
Tussauds?
Not Madame Tussauds, that's
bad.
the wax play. But, right, the Madame
Yep.
something. Anyway, we went in there. It holds maybe 200 people. So it's not like this massive crowd. They had 3 different comics.
Madame Luz.
Madame Luz. Some were funnier than others, but like we smiled. Even if you're not uproariously laughing, you're kind of smiling.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Like we're in a great mood. And I'm like, I've never heard of any of them, but
It's a common misconception with stand-up comedies that it has to be laugh out loud funny. No, it's great when it is, but it's watching to be amused.
That's it. If you smile the whole time, that is good.
And you know what? Living walking distance to Tacoma Comedy Club, I should go in there more.
You should, man,
Just pop
honestly.
in and see what we got going.
Why not?
there's a comedian I like, Tony Baker, right? And I saw him down in Tacoma at the Super Funny Comedy Club.
Yeah.
He came out there and was just riffing on Tukwila for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're laughing.
Just right. What a weird name, the Tukwila. And to this day, me and my buddy Sean say it all the time. Like, it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
It sounds like what do you say? Like the gulag. Hey, man, I did 10 years in the Tukwila.
Top 10 benefits of laughter. Number 8, you live longer. According to some recent research published in the Archives of General Psychiatry, elderly, optimistic people, those who expected good things to happen rather than bad things, were less likely to die than pessimists.
Yep, that's for sure.
There you go. It's just kind of one of those positive headspaces.
Well, yeah, sometimes like being a pessimist can be self-fulfilling. Being an optimist
100%.
can be self-fulfilling.
You fight illness better. People who are optimistic have stronger immune systems and are actually able to fight off illness better than pessimists.
Cold.
Exactly.
You stand no chance here.
I mean, it makes sense if you're miserable and don't like stuff that, like, maybe your life might be a little shorter.
Yeah,
It's almost like the
100%.
universe is doing you a favor. Like, look,
Right.
we've tried. Right? I mean, you
I
just
can
you
do
don't
nothing
see
to help
something
you,
like,
man.
just go.
But that's
Go.
the thing. Look, is bad stuff happens to everybody.
Sure.
100%.
Right? So there's certain situations you might be like, well, this isn't getting better. Let's pass. But, like, overall, it's like, you can't just sit around in a cloud with the rain on you.
100%.
Not everything is bad.
You know, there's something to be said for giving those bad thoughts and that darkness its day, and then after a while, you gotta just not live there anymore.
Yeah, like I joke around with Danny V about the emo stuff, and I'm not that sad. He's like, you don't have to say that joke but I get it. They're having fun. But it's like it's kind of tongue in cheek that they're sad, right? They're obviously having a blast at emo night.
Absolutely.
Well, every comedian that's worth a crap is the reason they're funny is because they've used humor to deflect the bad
Yes.
things that have gone on in their life.
Right.
Kind of a necessary evil.
How do I take this horrible thing in my
Right.
life and make it bearable?
And make it so that I can laugh at it.
I'll laugh at it,
Yeah.
right. How many jokes I've made to get through 2019? Hell yeah, man. Social benefits of laughter. Laughter is contagious, so if you bring more laughter into your life, you can most likely help others around you laugh more.
If you cannot stop laughing, inevitably, even people that do not know what you're laughing about start laughing.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
I've
There
done
is there's sometimes in here, especially with Thrill and I, we will look at each other. We won't say the joke out loud, but we'll
Because
start
it's probably not radio appropriate.
Right, and then somebody will text me like, I was laughing as you guys were laughing. Can you tell me what it was about? I go, no.
No, we absolutely
Glad
cannot.
Glad you were laughing.
And I will say, I've done plenty in my short 34 years of living. I don't think there's anything that has made me happier than making people laugh.
It's great.
When
man.
I can actually be there and I land a joke and it makes somebody laugh, gut laugh, it is one of the greatest joys that I ever
When
had.
it's voluntary.
Yeah, it's 100%.
When it is voluntary.
Yeah. You get somebody to do a spit take,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just you're just sitting around a table, BS with your buddies, and somebody does a spit take. It's like, I got him.
And the best is when you don't even mean it. It's just something that you say, and it just catches them right, man. It is the best. It'll change your perspective. Again, we're talking about the benefits of laughter. Researchers found that our response to stressful events can be altered by whether we view something as a threat or a challenge. Humor can give us a more lighthearted perspective and help us view events as challenges, thereby making them less threatening and more positive.
That's why I will not fight someone who laughs when it gets to the... You're like, yeah, man, I do it. And they're like, I'm like, okay, this is comedy to them. I'm about,
oh, no.
This is hilarious, the idea that I'm going to do something to them. I'm going to go ahead and sit down.
Fighting the Joker over here. It gives you a positive frame of mind. Laughter brings the focus away from negative emotions. What? Making you more cheerful and putting you through a positive frame of mind, much like what Miles said, deflecting and finding a different way around it.
What if you're someone, and I don't know that I've met this person, who, like, you're always sad, but sadness makes you laugh?
Oh, damn.
Right. I've had a horrible day. I don't know what it is.
I mean, sometimes I will laugh at very bad situations just because it's just a response. Okay. I don't know. All right. Like, it's not funny. It's funny that we're even having this conversation.
My son, he doesn't so much now, but when he was super younger, his nervous response was laughter. And you got to piece it together and understand who your kid is. He's like 5 years old, so he did whatever a 5-year-old does to get in trouble. It's not the end of the world, but I'm admonishing him, right? But when I'm looking at him, he's just like, right? So, like, my anger, but, you know, like, you think this is funny? And he's like, no. And there's sincerity on his face, like, I don't. So I start up again.
That nervous laughter, man.
And I'm like, so I walked up to my wife, I'm like, I can't. Because I know he's laughing because he's nervous, but I never have. When you're angry and someone's laughing at you,
you can't
get angrier. So I'm just like, I just had to leave. It is ridiculous.
Hey, I did it years ago when I got arrested. The cop goes, I don't know why you're laughing. Is it funny? And I was like, because I'm effed.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, what? I was like, I am not saying anything, and you're going to screw me over tonight. And he's like, yeah.
Damn.
That's exactly right.
That's like, it was dead. So I was like, all right, so that's why I'm laughing, because I am in a bad spot.
I'm screwed.
I need help.
Yeah. The physical release. Have you ever felt like you had to laugh where you'd cry? Have you ever experienced the cleansing feeling after a good laugh? Laughter provides a physical and emotional release.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting when you feel really sad about something and something unexpected makes you laugh. We're at my grandmother's funeral years and years and years ago. My aunt is sitting in front of my brother and I in the pews. And my grandmother, man, it's sad. It's heady. And all these people you've known your entire life are speaking on her behalf. Well, she had a friend who's about 30 years older than her, which made this one about 92 years old. And she's going to come out and sing whatever frickin' hymn she's going to sing. And she sounded exactly the way you expect a 92-year-old woman to sound. And so she started singing. My brother and I just looked at each other, and it was hysterical, but we can't laugh, all right? But the thing that made it worse is my aunt, this is my aunt's mother, devastated. She turned around and gave us one of those looks, and just like, what the... And we were done, man. I'm like, I know it's a sad occasion, and I'm not laughing about what it is, but... And this woman just wouldn't shut up. She just... We're like, oh, my God. This is one of the funniest things I've seen in the worst moment.
Oh, criminy. And then this is the number one benefit of laughter. Can manage your hormones. Laughter reduces the
getting laid. This is great.
Right. I'm so happy.
It's so funny. I think I have a chance.
Laughter reduces the level of stress hormones, but it increases the level of health-enhancing hormones. Laughter increases the number of antibody-producing cells and enhances the efficiency of T cells. All this means a stronger immune system as well as fewer physical effects of stress.
I actually have Mr. T cells.
Mr. T cells.
Hey, get out of my body. Come on, man. Time to get it to work.
I will admit, I mean, stuff seems hilarious after sex sometimes.
You're such a good mood.
Right.
Steven.
A man in Connecticut was suspected of driving under the influence, and he had a dead giveaway, Miles.
Well, what was that?
Tell all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Good time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink test can. Steve will throw hill to find out who we're toasting.
Quick follow-up text to that laughter discussion you had, Mike. It says, I started laughing during childbirth.
Whoa.
When I was pushing my 9-pound son out. No idea why. Good drugs, I guess.
Well, you know, it feels funny.
Damn. I want a whole lot of laughter in my experience, but you know. Today we chose.
All you can do is laugh at that point, man.
He's just like, oh my God, this is so painful.
I can't believe how bad this hurts.
Oh, no.
And he's the one crying.
I'm not going to sleep for months.
You expensive little vagina crusher.
Miracle of childbirth, my ass.
You thought you heard Steve?
I'm glad you're here. Today we chose Mr. Dylan Devereaux of Pasco County, Florida. Now, Dylan was driving recklessly, so police attempted to pull him over. Well, instead, Dylan took off at a high rate of speed, stopping at one point to drop off a passenger. Just real quick, I love that move. You're in a high-speed chase and just to like, hey, buddy, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I got to go. Then he speeds off again. Now, he eventually crashed into a tree, but then he bailed out of the car. Now, troopers did manage to tase him and get him on the ground, but Dylan, he would not be stopped. He began fighting. The cops in the middle of the road, he was pushing, he was struggling, and in spite of having been tased, he managed to get away with one hand already handcuffed. Then he disappeared into the woods. Well, with the help of 2 K-9 units, police did find him the next day. We're toasting him because he did all of this dressed in a Dalmatian onesie.
Jesus.
I have no idea why. Do not know why he was wearing it. But
that is my dad's hometown, Hudson, Florida.
Is it?
Yes.
That's where I went down.
It is absolutely as bizarre as that story.
I mean, that's the thing. It's already crazy. You got tased. You fought the cops. All this still managed to disappear into the woods. Dropped off a passenger during a high-speed chase.
I said on the story already. He's like, yeah, that's the mayor.
Oh,
yeah. That was his jump bag.
Right. Yeah, I can see it. But in a Dalmatian onesie, just to make it weird. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichona.
All right, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL Limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
So I actually tried Gemini a couple days ago, the Gemini Live where you can talk to it, and it is really crazy to have a full-on conversation with this thing. I was just messing around, so I asked it to give me ideas for hosting during the holidays. And when it starts giving you results, you can just stop it and say, okay, but what about something low-key for a smaller group? And then it adjusts to that, and you can just keep going until you get an idea you want. I think that's what I would use it for the most, brainstorming stuff. It's so good if you don't know where to start or if you hit a wall, you just go to Gemini. It helps you get the ball rolling. But obviously you can use it for all kinds of stuff. If you want to learn something new, you can have it give you advice, ask it to explain Bitcoin in simple terms, or you can have it quiz you on microbiology. I mean, imagine being a student and you've got this personal tutor on hand. It's hard to explain. You really just have to play around with it, see how it listens to you, responds, adapts to your style of conversation. Just try it out. It's free. Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
I've been working with a nurse dietitian for the last 6 months, and it's been life-changing. I've lost weight, healed my relationship with food, and have way more energy. Working with a dietitian online to create a personalized nutrition plan was so easy thanks to Nourish. The best part? I pay $0 out of pocket because Nourish accepts hundreds of insurance plans. 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. Find your dietitian at usenourish.com. That's usenourish.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
99.9 KISW. Text the men's room at 206-803-ROCK.
TV Time with Ted brought to you by Xfinity. Give them a call, 1-800-XFINITY. The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Patrick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, Butches.
Hola. All right, Patrick, you understand how this here game is played?
I've heard it before.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three categories, and today we offer you Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon. We have Seriously, where you guess the petty conflict that led to extreme violence, and finally today, License to Spill, where you guess the substance that made the mess.
I think I want to go with Seriously.
Wendy's founder Dave Thomas, probably rolling in his grave, but a couple of weeks ago, a 25-year-old man in Kentucky named Manja James Wooten got into an argument. Seriously, it is Manja, which means eat. He got into an argument with Wendy's employees. Now, it started at the drive-thru, and Manja was furious with something about his food order. Well, things got heated, and Manja walked into the restaurant, pulled a gun, and fired a shot. Now, a female Wendy's worker pulled out her own gun and returned fire. Now, Manja, he started unloading his clip. He shot one Wendy's employee in the ass, also shot the woman that he was actually with because she'd gone into the restaurant with him. Now, it sounds like both women will, in fact, be okay. Meanwhile, the Wendy's worker with the gun, she's in a legal mess of her own because she was on felony probation at the time and was not allowed to own a gun. Anyway, what was the minor issue that led to this shoot-'em-up nonsense at a Wendy's? Was it forgotten dipping sauce? Was it a missing Frosty? Was it cold French fries? Or was it cold chili? So, forgotten dipping sauce, missing Frosty, cold fries, or cold chili?
Well, the whole thing I was thinking is got the order wrong, but
they got the order right. There's just something about the order they didn't like.
I say someone was cold. I'm going to say cold chili.
Where'd you say it was again? 25-year-old dude in
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I just like that
Oh, choice number 2 again.
Choice number 2.
That was a missing Frosty.
Oh, missing Frosty. Missing Frosty, correct.
I want to go with cold chili. What do you guys think?
Patrick, I'm going forgotten dipping sauce. Simply because we had a story about Raising Cane's. And there was a similar issue. So I'm going to go dipping sauce means a lot to people.
Right, but in that case, that was a Raising Cane's. Cane's is known for their sauce.
All right.
Whereas I feel like Wendy's is known for that Frosty.
All right.
So I'm going to say there's a missing Frosty. Grab the gap.
Okay. What was this argument about? A forgotten dipping sauce, missing Frosty, cold fries, or cold chili? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yep.
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because DSW has the exact right shoes for whatever you're into right now. You know, like the sneakers that make office hours feel like happy hour. The boots that turn grocery aisles into runways. And all the styles that show off the many sides of you, from daydreamer to multitasker and everything in between. Because you do it all in really great shoes. Find a shoe for every you at your DSW store or DSW.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Category is seriously on profile this. What is the petty argument that caused all the craziness? Well, we go to Kentucky. Man got into an argument with the Wendy's employees. I guess he was in the drive-thru.
Yes.
Worked his way inside with whoever he was with, pulled out a gun, actually shot a Wendy's employee in the ass.
Well, I don't know if he aimed. I don't know if his first shot was aimed at anyone, but he at least fired a shot, maybe into the ceiling. Not understanding that he's in Kentucky and how fast food workers go, one of the Wendy's employees is like, I got a gun, bitch, let's go. But she fired at his ass. Then he unloaded, managed to hit, I don't know if it was her or another employee in the ass, but also ended up shooting the chick he was with.
So what was the argument about? Was it about a forgotten dipping sauce, a missing Frosty, cold fries, or cold chili?
And Patrick, that is the very question that we posed to you. Very important question. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. You went the dipping sauce.
I guess you're right, Ted.
It was not the dipping sauce. But the Ted Smith, you went with the Frosty.
Yep. One the Frosty.
Very important.
Not a Frosty. Patrick, you went with the chili.
Okay.
Sorry. Cold fries.
Cold fries.
Cold fries.
I would be a little angry about cold fries, too.
People got shot.
You gonna shoot somebody?
I mean, it's Kentucky. What would you do?
I'd ask him to give me a new order.
Could do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a buddy get stabbed once when he bitched about how long the sandwich took. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Thank you, Mike. Just dawned on me.
Yep.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmies.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Stephen Colbert. Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
Each right there, the title. These guys have teams of talented writers coming with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a V. Ted Smith original? What just dawned on you?
Nothing.
Oh.
TV star and now podcaster Tori Spelling has been talking more about her personal life on her podcast.
Yay.
And recently revealed the biggest star she's had sex with. And what? This is crazy. It was the son.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah, you.
That is me. That is so stupid.
She has a podcast now.
She does. I almost put Nepo Baby, and then I was like, you could definitely tell none of the late night guys would call her Nepo Baby.
No.
A woman is in court for aggressively farting at her boyfriend's ex. She would pass gas by putting the camera on her bottom and passing the gas, and admitted to sending the videos of her breaking wind to her boyfriend's ex over Christmas. Inspired, no doubt, by the classic Christmas carol, Silent But Deadly Night.
Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert.
Yeah, it's Colbert.
A woman is in court for aggressively farting at her boyfriend's ex. She would pass gas by placing the camera on her bottom and passing the gas, and admitted to sending videos of her breaking wind to her boyfriend's ex over Christmas. Oh. Inspired, no doubt, by the beloved Christmas carol, Silent But Deadly Night.
In China, a woman ate a gold engagement ring her boyfriend hid inside of a cake. The event has already inspired a new Netflix show, Is It Ring?
I'm going to go Colbert.
Yeah, me too.
Fallon.
A woman in China accidentally ate a gold engagement ring that her boyfriend hid for her in a cake. The event already inspired a new Netflix series, Is It Ring?
Have you guys watched Is It Cake?
Oh, is that what I didn't get the joke.
There's a whole series where they just make amazing boxes and stuff like that, and you got to just look at it and guess if it's cake or not. It sounds stupid. It is incredibly hard.
Right.
You would be shocked when they can make into a cake with fondant.
Fondant.
I like to call it fondant. There's one of them cool cakes. Is that fondant?
It sure is.
According to a new study, the most popular cheese in New Jersey is mozzarella. Well, yeah, it's Jersey. It's also the most popular vegetable.
Seth.
Yes, Seth.
That is Seth.
According to a new survey, the most popular cheese in New Jersey is mozzarella. I mean, yeah, it's Jersey. It's also the most popular vegetable.
I don't think anybody really had to do a study on that.
That or provolone, probably.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, pizza is the big one. So.
Yeah, but I mean, they'd be like, hey, in Wisconsin, they like cheddar.
They like cheese at all.
Yeah. All right, you guys all enjoyed Stranger Things, correct?
I watched
indeed.
1 year.
All right, Miles didn't enjoy it.
I'm on it.
It was fine.
About saying I'm on it, their last episode 3 years ago, whatever the hell it was, but I will go back.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids are like this.
The Buyer's House from season 4 of Stranger Things just hit the market. That's the one with in California that Will and his family and 11 move to from Hawkins, Indiana. Only the house is not in California. Mike, guess where it is?
Hawkins, Indiana.
Nope, picking you specifically.
Pick Enumclaw.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, nice.
That was a Breaking Bad reference.
Yes, it was. My bad.
The house, basically, they used it for interior and exterior shots. $675,000, has 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a backyard pond, and a finished basement.
They must
so
have
in Seattle, that would be $1.8 million.
They must have just based on Breaking Bad, just Hollywood there for certain things.
I guarantee
Baltimore was that way. Vancouver
it's
is that way.
Man.
Yeah, correct. They must have guys who can do lighting and all that stuff and just stage hands.
Some of it's also just taxes.
Right. I was going to say it's all taxes, right?
Yeah.
So I can bring my stage hands from anywhere. If I save that much on taxes, I can afford to fly my guys in, right? My tech crew to do what they've got to do. So it's one of the things that helped Vancouver. They got smart and said, look, dude, everything that's, quote, New York City or Seattle or Los Angeles, they will film here because it's never the skyline, right? You get your
Baltimore,
basic shots of the sky. Baltimore,
was old New York, old Philly, old England.
Old France.
Yeah.
Believe it. I mean, and honestly, but you saved, like, we can go to Baltimore, and it's one area called Mount Vernon, and I want to say they filmed 2 or 3 movies there that are period pieces in France, like around the French Revolution, early 1800s. But you wouldn't know because they don't pull back the camera.
Probably could do that with
Ellicott
Ellicott City, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Annapolis.
We're in Dutchland.
Annapolis, they did it for Unsolved Mysteries. Mm-hmm. They have a brick street.
Right, well, that was the whole thing with, like, Clint Eastwood and what they called the spaghetti westerns. Was it was cheaper to film them over in Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Yeah. I also saw a whole special where there's like towns in, I want to say, Wyoming that were built for westerns, but nobody really lived there.
Correct.
So you could still kind of go find them. So it's like, I don't know. They're like, does this count as a ghost
storefront
town?
without really a building behind them or whatever?
No, they would build full structures.
Oh, really?
So people were like, ooh, a ghost town. And it's like, it's not really a ghost town because nobody lived here and left
Right.
it.
It's not
They
a
just
ghost
used it
town.
for filming.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you can go check that out. I was talking about, I've been watching American Primeval. Good show. Graphically, just violent.
Yeah.
There's just horrible stuff you don't want to see in it. And I'll be honest with you, it does not end well. But I was gripped to it. And if you're into, like, history and all that kind of stuff, obviously it's a docudrama. But just seeing, what was going on in the state of Utah, how wild it is. And I get why the Mormons aren't big on it. I mean, they got the Mormons even fighting with each other. Then you got the U.S. government out there. You obviously have all the natives who are sick and tired of moving, who are like, we're not moving anymore. So just kind of super interesting stuff. And, good show. It's a limited series. I powered through it. But, yeah, it's a good watch. You want to check that out.
What's that on?
That is on Netflix.
Okay, I've got that. I'm always glad when you go Peacock. One of the ones that I have.
It's weird to me, because as a country, generally speaking, nobody ever wants to revisit the dark days. Slavery in some states didn't exist, right? Or moving the natives out. It never happened, right? But when you talk to an individual, if they were born broke, they are more than happy to show you, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. And you're like, it's history. It is okay. No one who is alive now is responsible for that, but that's how things get done. So if you were born broke and make it big, you're like, dude, I grew up poor. And I want you to know that, and here I am now. But as the country goes, like, that didn't happen.
Correct.
We never did anything. I'm like, what?
I was talking about
That's
this
so
weekend
weird.
with some people. We were talking about watching, History Channel and this and that. And it's like, look, it just is what it is. Like, the natives were here.
Yeah. Show me one successful entity on this planet that does not have a dark history.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you don't get to the top without beating people along the way.
Right. And I would say it's also the same way I've learned from The Wire. And, sometimes people go on and on about this or that. And I always say the same thing. Who was the one detective? We would always say it. Like, look, just follow the money.
Always.
It's not that hard to figure out. Like, well, who's making money off? I know you got your theories. Who's making the money off it?
Who profits?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
It. That is it. In
And
any
it's
scenario.
not changed.
Right. Who profits? There you go.
Let's see. You're going to have a bunch of Super Bowl commercials. Did anybody watch some of the opening night of the Super Bowl stuff last night?
No. I didn't even know it was on, no.
All right. So I got home. I watched a little bit of it. I will say, there's no real reason that people dislike the Chiefs now. It is kind of funny that they're like, we'll play the villain role. And everybody's like, they're not the villain. And it's like, right, but we don't have to go that far back. Remember, the Patriots were doing the same thing.
But with the Patriots, I felt like people like them less for various reasons. And the thing with the Chiefs, people are just tired of watching you win. Everybody wants to see a new winner, right? I think that is basically the beginning and end of what the conversation is. But, you guys don't have the personalities for people to hate you. You could be tired of hearing about Kelsey and what's her face, Travis, or whatever, Taylor Swift. But
dude, if he was with Travis Scott, that would blow people's minds.
But it's only because you don't care and you're tired of hearing it. But they haven't done anything, right, to make you hate him. And you can be tired of hearing about what's his face, Patrick Mahomes, but he hadn't done anything. Some of the teams that went down as villains, you had the players, when they did interviews, like, I'm going to beat your ass and rip your face off. And you're like, those are real. The Chiefs, We're just tired of them. There's nothing.
But also,
people
this is
think they are
this
villains.
This is also just sports psychology 101, right? When you've been winning for a while,
people want to go down.
You got to find that extra thing to dig into and this and that.
Do you have a team that you don't want to come down and win it, Ted, on this one? I'm not sure that I do. I just want a good game.
That's all I'm hoping for. I don't want it to be a blowout either way, because just growing up in the D.C. area, it is just so ingrained to me to hate the Eagles. But, look, I like Saquon Barkley. I like Jalen Hurts. There's some guys
that you get older and then they get players. I've never liked the Eagles. I'm like, it's just like you're saying. I'm like, well, I like Jason Kelsey, and I certainly like Saquon. Jalen Hurts seems like a guy. Look, there's nothing for me to hate.
To answer your question, Miles, I have no idea.
No, I'm right there with you. I don't know what to do.
I like Andy Reid more than I like Nick Sirianni.
I'm not sure how to watch this.
That would be the difference. Nick Sirianni.
He's a little bit of early this year. He was kind of a weirdo, I guess.
Nah, he's a whiny bitch.
He's not my kind of coach. I would leave it at that, to be polite about it. But you're right. I watched some of that stuff last night, and him and Andy Reid sitting there on stage together just couldn't look any different. And, people are there, but, Kelsey just went up and was like, yeah, we're coming back. I got a coach with me and this and that. And just, there wasn't a lot of cheers. It was just, I don't know. Something about this Super Bowl just seems a little flat.
It does.
Kind of like the national title game a couple weeks ago. There just doesn't seem to have that, buzz. And I get it.
It's a couple of the same people,
Yeah, and I feel like this year, everybody's just more about, where are we partying? What are we eating?
Boom.
We're in New Orleans.
Right. Exactly. So get out there and enjoy it.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you listening to The Men's Room.
Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. As you know from our shot, a Florida man in Dalmatian onesie outruns the troopers, the tasers, and 2 canine dogs. Meanwhile, a woman admits to killing her husband, but while sawing logs. Drug man outside of a Dream Girls tries to eat officer's finger. A man thinks he could dodge a bullet after drinking tequila and doing a binger. And a man gets pulled over doing 70 on his rims. Yeah. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to Connecticut, where they don't hide their impairment well. Officers received a call about a driver rolling down the highway driving erratically. They managed to spot their suspect, who was doing his best to be inconspicuous as he rolled by officers. But the dead giveaway that he was their man, he was driving without one of his tires, throwing a trail of sparks and smoke behind him. He eventually stopped for officers who arrested him and charged him with DUI. To be fair, I've never had that where I'm driving on a rim, but I got to imagine it makes a god-awful noise that you just can't ignore.
I would think you would know it.
But I've seen way too many videos of people driving up on somebody who's just got a trail of sparks behind their car. And
no idea.
They have no clue. Is the radio crazy loud? Does your car just make noises that you accept as just part of your car? But that'll get you pulled over every time. Another news from more erratic drivers. We find ourselves in Florida. We toasted this man earlier today. Officers found our reckless driver and attempted to pull him over, but he wasn't giving up that easily. No. He evaded officers until finally coming to a crashing stop. That's when he attempted to flee on foot. Pursuing officers got on him quick and tased him, bringing him to the ground, and attempted to cuff him. Miraculously, the suspect struggled and wriggled free of the officer with one cuff around his wrist and made for the woods. Officers deployed K-9 units who chased him down to his home, and an arrest warrant was issued because the gal at the door says, I don't want anybody coming home and finding my drugs.
I like that she admitted that.
She did.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I don't want you guys to come in because I have drugs in the house. I don't want to get arrested. But they didn't arrest her.
Did they really? I didn't notice that part.
They came back the next day and got him. They didn't bother to go in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because they got an arrest warrant for him. So therefore they couldn't pin the drugs on her.
I mean, they could have because she admitted it.
Florida.
They just didn't, right?
Yeah, so maybe it's just weed.
Who knows? Well, he got busted for meth and a couple other high quality. But I mean, she was just like, look, I have drugs in the house.
Right.
So I'd prefer if you didn't come in. At that point, they don't have a warrant.
Right.
But I guess they decided, we know you're on drugs, lady. We just want him.
And I feel like if you say don't come in, I've got drugs, you've got more than weed on you.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, an arrest warrant was issued and they were able to bring their man into custody.
I know. Somebody goes, you bring any drugs? Are you talking about edibles? Yeah, don't call them drugs.
Right. Can we not?
Man.
Jesus, dude.
That quit being drugs back in 2018. Okay?
Yeah, right? Say weed or edibles.
Right, come on.
You bringing any drugs? Don't text me that.
Easy, man. But back to the reason why he was toasted earlier this evening. He did all this while wearing a Dalmatian onesie. Great choice of attire. Great choice of attire.
Maybe it gave him strength. Dude got tased. He wrestled with multiple cops.
He did.
He's half handcuffed and still got away.
He's got the strength of 101 Dalmatians.
Hey-o.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somebody had to get it in there.
Thank you.
Nice job, Corella.
Attaboy.
Was he driving a Cadillac DeVille?
That'd have been perfect.
Yes.
Always loved that car.
It was a cool looking car, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
My mom had a DeVille sedan. That thing was great.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Those things lasted forever, man.
It's a hood classic, too, man. That 97. Big bodied in the back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over to Pennsylvania, where one man had a bad night. Police got a call about a drunken, disorderly man outside of a local exotic adult club, of all places, and they found their man in the parking lot. They arrested the man and got him into the car, but he didn't make it easy. Nah. When he was in the car, he stuck his head through the plexiglass partition and began shouting. What? I don't know. Fearing that he would try and force his way through the partition, an officer tried to shove him back through the opening and into his seat. But our man was waiting for him. Oh, yes. He opened his mouth and bit down on the officer's thumb, forcing all of his weight back into the seat to cause the officer even more pain. Great idea. That was enough for another officer to stun the man with a taser until he released the thumb and was taken to jail. He's facing several charges. I love that move. Let him go. No.
Yeah.
I would think that would make him bite down harder, though. That would be my concern.
I don't know. When those muscles contract, if it pulls your mouth open, like you want to scream but you can't make a sound, or I would not test it in that moment.
No, and I've seen plenty of videos where officers in training are getting tased and they will scream out in pain. So
that might be it.
Obviously,
your
it doesn't
mouth
make it
pops
all.
open.
Yeah, it doesn't make it all contract. So.
Maybe he didn't get his thumb out of his mouth.
All right.
Sorry about this.
Sorry, bud. Wild story out of Australia. A woman was taken to trial for the death of her husband. She was due to be charged with stabbing her husband in the middle of the night while he slept, but the charges against her have since been dropped and the case discontinued. The discontinuance came on the heels of her counsel announcing that she would be using parasomnia as a defense. Parasomnia is a sleep disorder that can include sleepwalking and sleep terrors. And
I have that. Bring it on, ladies.
And she had been released on bail so that she could undergo a sleep study with a licensed doctor issuing the court to see the results of her examination. And afterwards,
I went through a sleep study and I pulled out all the cables on my chest, getting up in the middle of the night and walking around.
And you had no idea that you did it?
No idea.
You can kill anyone you want.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Bring it on, ladies.
You're officially uninvited sleeping over at my house.
Okay.
It's funny. At least they did a study on that. I read another story today. It was somewhere here in the States. I don't remember where. But the coroner reversed the initial. Keep in mind, this is 10 years later. This woman's death was ruled a suicide. And the coroner reversed it because they said, well, she had 22 stab wounds.
Ooh.
Kind of like, I think this was murder.
That was 14 years ago.
Was it 14 years ago?
14 years ago.
Dedication.
That's how long it took for them to do that.
Crime of passion.
I think you finally hired a new coroner that said, are you freaking kidding?
I think I know why, but...
Oh, I know why.
I know why, too.
I just... Waking up the next morning to know that you stabbed your husband because you had sleep terrors and you were sleepwalking, that's going to haunt her for the rest of her life.
It would haunt me because I'd be like, I married a dude. And I killed him.
How to get in here?
But just in case those stories have the bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully there's good news.
Researchers at the University of Waterloo have stumbled upon something that could combat toxic industrial waste. The heavy metal chromium is an element that we see in two different forms. One that's actually a micronutrient that our body needs, and the other is a carcinogenic substance that is a byproduct of industrial processes. Toxic waste. Researchers have discovered that introducing a specially manufactured charcoal, which is basically they're burning vegetation without any oxygen in the atmosphere.
Okay.
And it creates this special kind of charcoal. Acts as a natural filter combining with the toxic chromium, and it either completely absorbs the chemical altogether or transforms it into the first form, which is the nutrient.
That is actually very, very good news.
Isn't that amazing?
That is needed.
That was awesome. Men's Room Sports brought to you by our friends at Sports on What. As far as what you're going to watch tonight, you got NBA and college basketball, as well as the Kraken hosting here in Seattle, the Detroit Red Wings tonight. Download the Sports on What app to find where those sports are going to be on in your local listings and at what time. As far as your weather, the snow showers are expected to come back tonight with mostly cloudy skies and a low of 28. As far as tomorrow, We're expecting more of a winter mix as temperatures rise to a high of 37, so the snow's going to go away there. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins on.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Lovely Jolene has your shot of 5K a day on the Odyssey app up next.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk Insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.